I kind of feel like we needed the week off to recover from that and the fallout from that. But, mate, what it's given us then now is we've got nice weather out here and teams who've still got a lot to play for. You fired up for today as much as I am?
Yes, I am. I mean, there was a few showers coming in when we were driving on the way here, and then it just all seemed to clear up, Matty C.
Yeah, but it is quite humid down at ground level because the ground has absorbed some water. It rains a lot more here on the south side of Canberra than it did on the north side. And now that that sun is out, you can feel the evaporative effect. It's quite humid on the field. There's a lot of flies around. It's going to be hard to concentrate out there for the guys as the game wears on, especially. And the game we've got to kick it off today. Gladiators on the near sideline, the home team. The Wolves on the far sideline, the away team. These are the two sides who left last week with losses. So both will have a lot at stake to try and show that they've got the credentials again today.
Yes, it'll be a big game. As for the Gladiators, their captains, you got number 55, Kane Emery. Number 3, returning today, Jake Humphreys. Number 19, Luke Hall. And number 29, Kane Mills. And then for the Wolves, I see Will Thompson, Adam Opliger. Just trying to see, think you also got Noble, and
Jason Kajalainen.
There we go. We're on the money there, Matty. So we haven't missed a beat since the bye week. There's been a lot going on.
We're getting the reps in, mate. That's the thing. Like, even though there's a bye week, you still turn up to training, right? We're the same. We continue to get the reps in. This Gladiators side, they led into the fourth quarter last week and then were run down from a 12-0 lead to lose 14-12 against the Stars. It does a lot to firm up the Stars as the third-place team, and it means the Gladiators, they need to win at least 2 of these remaining 3 games. They absolutely must. So they have got this circle as an opportunity to do that. They're a little light on personnel today, but we've seen Jake Humphreys is back. That's important for their offense. I also got the scoop that if we see Jesse Dade out there on offense, things aren't going well. He should play some defensive snaps today. That's the goal, is that between Bailey McManus and Matt King, they will rotate at quarterback for different series. But no Jesse Dade on offense if things go well, mate. That's the goal.
It's going to be a good one, I think. And and for the Wolves side, Matty C, they have a lot to prove after last week's tough loss.
They do. They would have called it a very different game last week, we think, too, because they didn't have Sean Tokley, who's Mr. Automatic, their kicker. I called him Mr. Necessary as he walked past me this morning, and he kind of chuckled about it. But they had a very good offensive day in some aspects. They had 4 red zone drives and only left with 1 touchdown. It was just a really... It was a tough game. It was such a pass-heavy game because they were trailing. Matt Phillips had to throw 36 times. And it was sort of weird to see the Wolves only put up 12 points when they've been scoring so freely all year. But we did see the Gladiators, the Centurions, their trademark defense really turned up. They got out to a lead, they hung on. That's what we see from the Centurions. So it was a typical performance, as you might expect from the Centurions.
As here we go, ready to kick it off, Luke Hall. Deep to receive, only the 1 returner today in Nick Mattress, as Hall has the ball in the tee, and he kicks this game off, onside kick like they did in week 1, and fielded well by Marshall, and Jack Marshall, good catch there, Matty C. Got to be great on the hands team, as you know, on the kickoffs.
You do, and I think this is why you've just got to be careful about who you put where on a kickoff as well, because, a little kick like that, if you just lined up and you've got some of your bigger guys there instead of some hands guys, then you may be a little exposed. But we're going to start this drive here on the correct side of halfway for point scoring. They are on the 47-yard line going in to kick off this drive. You love that.
Yes, Matty C. And this is where Matt Phillips likes to play his best game as well. He's got 2 receivers either side. Got Dorje in the backfield as well. On 1st down and 10 from the 47. Gets a good snap. Handoff goes here. And it's actually Sam Thompson in the backfield. Thompson's going to run through to the 40-yard line, Macy. Gain about 7.
Yeah, he looked really strong there too. He had the patience of getting to the line at high speed and then realising, actually, if I hit the hole at that speed, it's not going to be as many yards as I want. Slow it down and then take that time to get the reaction of where do I have the leverage to make the extra yards. Beautiful job, and a great job up front from that line. Gets them off to a good start.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 2 yards to go here. Gain about 7 or 8, some like the half-yard marks here. As Phillips gonna dump it off, try and get it to someone under pressure there. Good pressure up the middle, Matty C. You see Richard Handren.
Yeah, and he is such an experienced player, Richard Handren. They've missed him last week. They really missed him last week, and he was hurt in the week prior to that. So it's good to see him back out on the field. He's going to be key to this team being able to hold things together defensively. It's also good to see that we've got Isaac Dialvia back on that far sideline. He'd missed a couple of weeks with concussions, and he's back and playing his best football now too.
So here it is, 3rd and short coming up here. Hall shows blitz and backs off. Here's Thompson. He's going to get met by Hall around the line. I think he's just short, Matty C.
They're going to give it to him. I'm just watching that far line judge give it to him, as Renee Hendricks is our black cap judge on that far sideline. White cap confirms that that's going to be a first down by, I think, inches, mate. But that's all you got to do. You just got to break the play. Done.
It's perfectly on the marker too, Matty C. It's going to be a first down here for the Wolves. And look, it's a good start to the drive, Matty C. 3 plays and they got their first down. Yeah,
it's about what you would expect, right, too, is that their offensive line's really big and strong. They work together. There's so few changes on that line week to week. You expect a lot of consistency out of them. You get it.
And Smith and Mattress at the top of the screen. Phillips looking the other way to Dugdale. Incomplete.
Great contact from Handren, and there is no flag, and I like the no flag call on that. I don't think there was any way he could have pulled out of that, and there was nothing dangerous about it. Good contact.
Yeah, 2nd down coming up. So Handren, Matty, he's causing some problems early.
He is, and what I love is when you see that too. He comes charging through. It forces Phillips to get rid of that ball. He throws it to a spot that's safe, although never going to be a completion. But the contact is nice and heavy on Phillips there to say, this could be all day, mate. You got to keep your eye out for me, and I like that he's sowing that seed.
So 2nd down and 10. Quick pass here, and here goes the receiver. Going through the middle is Marshall, and he gets the first down. Great catch and run from Marshall, Matty C. The young receiver, he's going to step up big in the second half of this season.
Yeah, we really do expect a lot out of him. He's gone and picked up a nice 12-yard catch there, looking really strong out of the gate. Matt Phillips with his first completion of the day as well. That's their second first down on the drive as they're working their way in now. They're just inside the 25-yard line. I mean, this is the kind of play we've become accustomed to seeing from the Wolves. Near the line of scrimmage, let the receiver do the work, get some bodies downfield.
So 1st and 10 at the 25. Phillips, quick one. Here's Damon Smith. And Smith getting a catch around the line of scrimmage again. Doing work. Yards after the catch. He's got to get through. And Matty C, he is inside the 10 for the first down. Flag is down, though.
Flag is down. And it was around the spot where the block was. So you get to expect that often. This is likely to be against the blocking player just holding. Otherwise, we've got a gain of about 20 yards, which was fantastic. Wonderful play. We'll just see if it stands here. The pass and the completion likely to stand in anyway.
Yeah, it looked like Mattress and Dialvia, so Mattress blocking Dialvia on that play, Matty. So it could be some contact there that's a little legal, and there is no flag.
So it's going to be a 21-yard catch.
Yeah, I was watching the replay, Matty. See, I didn't really think there was much in it. I mean, I was just watching it through, and I think just Mattress had the corner out there.
It's really a good job from Mattress too, because the longer that play went on, the harder it is as the blocking receiver to continue to make that block without doing something illegal to keep it up. So he did a good job being able to hold the block for that long. And Smith, he's just so elusive and quick and tricky out there. They go and get the ball here. They're on about the 8-yard line.
First down and goal to go here from Matt Phillips in this offense. And Phillips awaits a snap. Blitz comes. He's going to keep it. Phillips going for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Wolves. And they're on the board on their first drive, Matty C.
Yep, and that's as methodical as you would expect from this Wolves team. Just a smart drive, no risk. And you see that this is probably a much more typical Jason Ray game. He kind of felt like when we talked to him in the pre-game, he kind of got away from things that were pretty typical Wolves football last week because the situation kind of called for him to try and catch up in a game, and they haven't really been accustomed to having to do that in recent time. That was just a very postcardy version of a Wolves drive there to get him on the board. And look who's back this week. They'll be glad to have Sean Tokley.
And Noble with the hold. And that one, as always, Matty C, goes through. He's only missed one on the season in terms of kicks, Matty C.
He's made 2 having a drop kick him out of his hands as well, which I want people to try this at home. Try this at home. Go over to American football.
We tried it.
and drop kick it out of your hands with a rush coming towards you. It is impressive that he's 2 for 2 of those.
Yeah, we tried that, Matty C. I don't think we could have done even 10% of the job that Sean Tokley did on that.
Oh, 0 chance for me. If I got 1 in 100, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm not being generous with that 10% too. It's probably closer to 0, as you said.
Definitely for me, mate.
Yeah, here he is with the ball on the tee. See what the Gladiators can do on their first drive, Matty C. You'd love to see them respond here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they moved the ball with some efficiency in the first half last week, and some of that was because they had Bailey McManus running the ball. So we'll see if that is something that is featured this week.
Here's Brody Norris. And Norris going to take it out. Oh, he gets a hit. He goes through. He's down. One man to beat is Tokley. He's got to beat him. Tokley cannot beat him. Norris down the left sideline. Touchdown, Gladiators. Brody Norris going down the left side. Unbelievable play from the young man. He came in from the New South Wales League, as we talked about, Matty C. He was dangerous on them returns last game, and he breaks through. They didn't even need a try. Matty C.
Oh my gosh, I didn't catch quite where that started from. I'm expecting it's about 90 plus yards, but the two people whose tackles he beats Rain Nang. That is a heavy piece of contact, but it just doesn't quite hit. It's an all or nothing play by Nang there to try and make good contact and just knock him over.
Yep.
It doesn't come off. He's at half a step ahead of that, and then it was the play on Tokley. It's a tough situation. You're on the team not for your tackling, you're on the team for your kicking, and you're asked to make that play. You're going to see the receiver, the kickoff, you're going to see the returner make that play more times than not, but Tokley does his best to just even slow him down, try and let the team get there and make a play, and Norris, too good, such an exciting touchdown.
93 brilliant yards there from Brody Norris, and they're going for two for the lead, as they don't have a recognised kicker like Sean Tokley, Matty C, so they've got to go for two here.
Get the lead, do it.
And McManus, bit of a bungled snap. He's not going to make it there. He's a yard short. Wow. What a start we've had, Matty C.
Unbelievable. Brody Norris. Take a bow, young fella. What an exciting play. It's got to be one of the more exciting plays of the season. When you say, man, 93 yards. Unbelievable. And that makes this a 7-6 game in a way that I don't think we were expecting it to just elevate on the scoreboard escalate so quickly, mates.
Wow. And everyone's just got to catch their breath around the ground now, Matty C. The crowd was electric on that return. You just love a good kickoff return. This is what I love about our league, using like the old sort of rules compared to the NFL ones. It's just like, it's a harder rule set, but when you see a guy break through 93 yards just like that, it just feels even better than it does in the NFL rule set.
Yeah, I love seeing that too. Like, he does kind of a very uncommon thing. It's a 94-yard officially. Here we go.
94.
Our man on the spot here, Brad, has gone and got the official number from the officiating crew there. It's an exciting play because he gets a mitt on the ball to stop it, and you think, sheesh, that's not the most auspicious start to this play.
Wow.
And then the next 13 seconds is that. That's what thrilling football.
And here's Luke Hall, ball on the tee, everyone just catching their breath. Both teams, I would say, have pretty similar kickoff units, whether it's kicking off or returning as well. So a lot of those guys backing up for this play. So here's Hall, one of them. He's going to kick it off here. Just getting everyone set. Feels like an opening kickoff again. 7-6. And he's going short again. And they're going to test out the hands here. And going down again, Dugdale to the 45. They're getting some decent returns off these short kickoffs, Matty C.
They did. Last time around, they really much only returned it from where it was caught, but Dugdale gets about a 10-yarder on this one. So a nice return for him after Marshall pretty much caught it and fell over on the first one. The rush got there straight away. Going to be important here for this defense now to try and just... you got to make sure you stop in a position where they're not scoring. They're already on the positive side of halfway here, given that they are on the 45-yard line going in this time. They didn't have a lot of troubles on their 47-yard drive. They only faced 1/3 down last time.
So here it is, 1st and 10 on the 45. Looks like Dorje in the backfield. Going to hand it off, and here goes the Lion. He's going to get taken down. A good tackle there by the number 92, Rowan Murphy.
Yeah, and we're going to give him probably 2 yards on that one, Lion. I love that he's got a nickname like that too. His name's Lionel, but they call him Lion.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this. He's imported here. He's found himself here from New Caledonia, of all places.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't carry the ball a ton of times each week. But what he does on the sideline too, and when he does carry it, he just runs like his hair's on fire. And he takes that same intensity to bringing all that, the team spirit on that sideline. He's a fun hang.
So second down, 7 yards to go. Phillips, handoff, here he goes. The Lion once again. He gets the first down. Oh, what a hit! Matt King again, Matty C. He's a big hitter. And boy, he lays a guy out.
Yeah. Wow. He was running a little upright. And,
wow.
Matt King just took him ball and all, and it was that's one I'd like to replay a few times. You can hear the contact up here. It was delicious.
Unbelievable, Matty C. And we're going to see it as well for the Wolves. Bringing in 2 receivers either side. Just trying to catch one of the receivers' numbers here, Matty C. It's like a new receiver at the bottom of the screen. They're going to go here. Quick pass to Mattress. He's going to get hit by King, but he holds on to the 15. A good gain there, Matty C, of about 17.
Yeah, just looking at that, I think we got ourselves to about the 33, and we're going to get marked down at the 15. Yeah, let's call it 18. How about that? Let's do that. Mattress with an 18-yard grab.
Yeah, good grab there, Matty C. So got Marshall, Smith and Mattress at the bottom of the screen. Marshall and Dugdale at the top of the screen. Dorje in the backfield for Phillips. Ball at the 15. Oh, Dorje just fell down, Matty C, and you're going to call that a false start.
Yeah, and I think he did the right thing trying to sell it, like he was just changing his stance into the 3 or 4 point stance. But you got to get up pretty early in the morning, get one past Butters. Our white cap referee today.
Looked a little too far forward to be a 3 or 4 point stance there, Matty C, you would say.
Yeah, but look, first penalty of the day. We've already got 2 scores on the board before we've even got a penalty, which is a nice start. And that one just overbalancing this. He's listening to the cadence and pretty eager. Why wouldn't you be? 2 carries for 12 yards. He's looking pretty good out there today, the Lion.
They move Mattress in motion. Phillips looks that way. He's going deeper for Dugdale, and Pinocchio has to hold on for dear life against the guy who's probably twice the size of him, Matty C, and he does well to stop him from the first down, it looks like, and be second and short.
Pick up about 8, maybe 9 yards on that one. Just a really nice play, and you can see that play developed beautifully. There was an over route. Dugdale comes on the under. Mattress also trying to drag a player through that zone just to try and soften up underneath. It was a simple pitch and catch. You would love being able to throw to a guy with shoulders the size of young Jack Dugdale. He had 2 touchdowns last week in their loss, but he was clearly an emerging player on this offense.
So handoff here to the Lion, and that one's going to get stuffed once again, Matty C. Good work by the defensive line that time. Justin Murray in there on the tackle.
We're going to give him 0 or -1 on that. It looks like maybe they've given him all the way back to the line, which may be a little generous, but it brings us up to a 3rd down. They haven't had a lot of 3rd downs. Done the second one on the day, but they've done well to recover the full start yardage.
Yeah, 14-yard catch followed by a 0-yard run. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and 1 after an interesting set of downs, Matty C, so far.
Well, and after not completing his first 2, Phillips is now 4 of 4 as well, so that's worth knowing.
So 3rd and 1. Oh, they've got them to jump. Quick one to Smith. Oh, it was just out of reach, but they'll get the first down on penalty.
Yeah, well, and I think it's Marshall over that side, and the ball was just a little out of his reach, but he also was a little slow to move to where the ball was going. I think Phillips was hoping to lead him, but Marshall was already flat on his feet, hoping the ball would come straight to him, so it was just a little bit of a miscue there, but that was the right play.
So Phillips with a rushing touchdown already. As you see, the offsides penalty against the defense will make it 1st down and goal to go at the 4-yard line. Matty, he's running one already. Let's see what he can do here. He's got 1st and goal. Dorje in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. They've flipped around the receivers there. And here he goes. Handoff. Dorje gonna get met up in the middle again. Boy, oh boy, Matty C. They're giving him a lot of carries. A good tackle there. Kane Mills in there, Matty C. You have a few defensive linemen as well.
Yeah, and it's his 4th carry on the game now. The last 2 have been both for 0s, but I think it's the right thing to do is just you're close to the line. They scored their touchdown with Matt Phillips running it in.
Yeah.
And so you just got to do the right thing. I think show them that you're willing to take it in with the running back, because then it makes them have to wonder with that exchange: are you handing it off? Are you keeping it? And they've seen both.
So second and
respect both.
Yep, 2nd and goal. No gain on that play. Phillips Handoff again. Here goes Dorje. He's in. Touchdown, Wolves. He gets a great hold from the offensive line, Matty C, and he breaks a tackle into the end zone.
Yeah, beautifully done. I think this is what sometimes you see a touchdown to a player who just really deserves to get that marked against their name in the scoreboard, because he's done a lot of stuff for this club this year. It's not all statistically based. You can't mark it all up on a stat sheet, the things that he brings to this club, but it's nice to give him that. A 3-yard touchdown run, and we pop the score out to 13-6. Kick to come.
So here's Tokley with Noble to hold. Waiting to snap. Oh, gets a bit of a rush, but Matty C, he'll always make that.
Yeah, and what I like about the way he kicks his extra points too is, you see where that lands? 20 yards out the back of the end zone. He's not mucking around. I love that. And Sean Tokley, he was a big reason that last week's game, the last matchup that we saw these guys play, the Centurions 2 weeks ago, played out the way it did. There were situations where they could have taken a field goal if Tokley was here. He wasn't. It changed the way Jason Ray called the game. They were going for 2-pointers on their touchdowns, where generally you get that automatic extra point on each of them. They lose last time around by 9 points, and you think, well, there's 2 failed 2-point conversions in that otherwise would be field goal conversions. There was at least 2 opportunities where they had to go for it on 4th down, a situation where they would usually field goal kick with Tokley. So you think, then in a 9-point game, I reckon I can argue that there's 6 points from the field goals and 2 from the extra points that were left out, and now you've got a 20-21 game potentially. Like, it just changes so much when you've got a player who's as dynamic with kicking as Sean Tokley and is as consistent. It completely changed the complexion of that game, and the Centurions took great advantage of that.
And they're going to kick it short, keep it away from the dangerous Norris. Oh, they've got to field this, and looks like Matt King just diving by
King. Just fall on it. Like, as soon as your knee is on the ground or your elbow is on the ground while you're in possession, contact or not, the play is over.
And Matty C, can you believe this is the first time we see the Gladiators offense out on the field about halfway through this first quarter?
Right, and it's not because there's just been one long, powerful drive. It's 2 different drives, a couple of first downs along the way, but that kick return was just... I see exactly why you don't kick it to Norris again. I mean, that's the learning from the Wolves there is, well, we're just not going to give you the space, Brody Norris. We've seen what you can do. Don't want to see that movie twice.
So 1st and 10 coming up here from the 28. See what they can do. They're going to bring Norris in. So Norris is going to be in the backfield. And they've got Mills at the top of the screen. Got Humphreys. Welcome back to him. It's at the bottom of the screen for a couple of receivers as well in Casey. And we'll get the other number in a second. But here's McManus looking over the middle, incomplete, looking for Humphrey straight away, Matty C.
Yeah, and it was into a tough spot too, because Noble and Cheetah were just sort of right there, and a little zone there. Those guys react so quickly to the ball. So it was going to be a tough catch and heavy contact if you could hang on to it, but also because of how short that area is, you have to be so precise getting that ball in there, because the receiver has no time to adjust. The pass has to be money, or that happens.
So 2nd and 10 coming up here, Matty C. Just getting...
So Norris is their back. They've got that same formation. 3 down here on the narrow side, and just 1 receiver out there on that wide open side. That's a lot of space when you're that receiver out there. You feel like you're selling real estate.
Yes, 2nd down coming up here. And here goes McManus running, trying to get through. He will not get more than a yard.
Well, and this is something we saw them do last week that we haven't really seen them do all year, is designed runs for Bailey McManus. In the first couple of weeks where he did run, it was because the play broke down. Last week, it was kind of a bit of almost like a surprise tactic, I think, to say, we haven't seen him do this. He's confident to do it, and he actually went out and picked up a whole bunch of yards in last week's game from doing that, and it took some pressure off his passing game. And I like that they did that. It kind of gave him an extra little pitch. It's not going to be him all day either. We will see Matt King out there at different times as the passer as well.
And here goes McManus looking on 3rd and 10, under pressure. Oh, trying to get to Casey. Incomplete, flag down at the end, Matty C.
Yeah, but that's late contact. You can't hit the quarterback that late. He's gotten rid of the ball. The play was well past that, and Nang, he's excited because he gets that rush on the quarterback. He's a player who really likes to get home. It's just can't do it.
And you're talking about it, Matty C. Matt King comes in as McManus just taking a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, so that's going to be a 15-yard one as well. So that's a tough one for the Wolves, because that's their first defensive penalty today.
So for those who didn't watch last week's game, or 2 weeks ago, shall we say, Matt King...
I keep saying last week too, mate.
Yeah, you keep saying last week. I mean, what a bye week, Matt. It wasn't really a bye week for us. We were still busy, doing NFL stuff and all of that. But yeah, for anyone who didn't watch last game, let's just say Matt King, he threw that beautiful touchdown ball. And really, he's got a great arm. He gets a low snap, getting tested, rolling around like a Ben Roethlisberger, and he gets a good completion. That was a Ben Roethlisberger type play, Matty.
The whole thing was, and then it was to a pass to a tough receiver like you might expect from a Hines Ward out there, as Jake Humphries does what an experienced receiver does. He sees that place breaking down, he puts himself in a spot where he's an easy target. He gets a bit of leverage on his corner, and then he gets the ball and gets down. Just a real veteran move.
2nd and 5. Yeah, a bit of backyard football they used to call that, with Roethlisberger throwing it to Hines Ward, as you said, or Antonio Brown if you wanted a new gen like me, or, Santonio Holmes. Oh, my favorite.
That's a middle generation, is it? There's me, the old generation with Antoine Randall and Hines Ward, and here you are with the Antonio Brown, and that's the middle ground, the Santonio Holmes.
Here is 2nd and 5. Fake. Going to Humphries again. Oh, he high points it. Great catch. This is what they've been missing, I think, from Jake Humphries, Matty C.
Yeah, and the rest of the receiving core is really inexperienced compared. I mean, most people are inexperienced compared to Jake Humphries, but he just brings so much to you. He plays the defensive side of the ball, but on the offensive side of the ball, it's almost like having a second quarterback, because he can just understand where he needs to go to get the position on his receiver and on his corner, and it just makes the job a lot easier for a guy like Matt King. But also, I think we're going to see this will make a job a lot easier for a young quarterback like Bailey McManus.
So the trips at the bottom, you've got Humphries, Casey, and D'Alvia. They're going to hand it off instead. Here goes Norris, and he gets that yard. He'll get the first down, hold on to the football, most importantly as well, Matt. You see, we've seen the Gladiators through the last few games. Fumbles have been a big issue. Looks like they've taken care of football so far this drive. Yeah,
and you like to see this because they have had such a rough journey through this year. They're 6 games in, still searching for the first win.
Yeah.
And especially after last week, they had really done enough to earn that victory through those first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter got away. That was one, and we talked to Jesse Date before the game. He said, it was difficult for the guys coming off the field last week to really make peace with what happened out there.
And here's the pitch. Here goes Norris, breaks through the defensive end, and he gets a good gain of 5. This is a great drive so far, Matty C. But most importantly, it's around this area of the field that you feel like they haven't capitalized a lot this season.
No, and it's been tough for them to get into these spots and then maintain possession. We've seen either fumbles or intercepts be a real bugbear of this team.
Yeah.
And also just 4th and medium to short, 5 and less yards has been really tough, because once you get down, the further down the field you get, the less area the defense has got to defend, but there's still 11 of them in the same space, and it gets harder for the quarterback.
So here it is, 2nd and 5 coming up. And here goes King looking. Quick one. Oh! Humphries breaks through. One man to beat. He's going down to the goal line inside the 5. What a catch and run from Humphries. It'll be 1st and goal.
1st and goal on about the 3. I'm going to give him 38 yards. And that is just the beautiful. That is the Larry Fitzgerald in that Super Bowl against the Steelers. Let's turn this around. Now he's against the Steelers. That little jet on the slant, and he just turns upfield, and then there's nobody there. And he did such a great job of keeping those wheels turning as he got through that first bit of contact. Lost a bit of his top speed there, and he did get tracked down. But 3 yards out, man, Joe, we might be about to see a second score from the Gladiators here.
Yeah, wow. 1st down and goal to go here, Matty C.
And just a 38-yard casual, 38 yards down the middle. No worries.
Wow. Here it is. Got the big running back as well.
And King 3 of 3 for 47 yards.
Oh, they got them to jump. Is it D'Alvia? Or is it the defense?
The defense went first, but D'Alvia also moved, so they're going to call it against him.
Yeah, so it's like Murphy in the backfield there, Matty C as well, just to keep myself on track of all these numbers as well. It's going to be 1st and goal now from the 8. And really...
Not a death sentence.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
It's a good position still. I mean, it's not like 1st and 15, right?
Yeah, you'd still far prefer to have this field position than others that you could have at this stage. And they've got the big body in there, Ryan Murphy at the back now.
And here it is, King. Over the middle for Humphreys again. Incomplete. Good coverage there, Matty C, as well. They're locking in on it.
Yeah, and the corner just did a good job on getting the leverage on that one. Just got on the underside of him, made life difficult. I'm pretty sure that's Tom Wills on the underside of him there in the red gloves. I'm sure that's 18. Can be difficult to see from this distance, mate.
Don't trust me. Don't trust me, man. I've had glasses since I was a kid, so I'm not to be trusted in these situations.
Tough out there. I'm pretty sure that is Tom Wills, number 19. Red gloves.
Yes.
That's how we'll do this.
Yes.
So that's the first incompletion for King now. Third down. This is 4 down territory. You're just going to do it. You're going to treat this like second down.
Fake. Here it is. Floats it up. Phillips with the pick. Phillips just picks it off. King had just floated it too much there, Matty C. He was looking for Brett Morgan out there at receiver, but just floated it way too much.
And that's an important play, because not only do you get the turnover, you're in your end zone. You now get 20 yards of free real estate coming out of there, and it really does, like, as a defense, you didn't just defend your own end zone, you've now made an attacking play in a way as well, because you just bought yourself 20 yards.
Yeah, good meme, Dad, as well. Free real estate. Yeah,
like that?
I remember that meme. Yeah, love it. Good old-fashioned meme knowledge for me. 1st and 10 coming up from the 20. Here's Phillips, handoff, going for Thompson, and Thompson bounced back, but then just absolutely got tackled there by Murray. He's a hard guy to get past, Justin Murray, Matty C. He is very big.
I talk to him every week, and a fair bit outside of football world as well. He's such a happy dude. He's such a funny fella.
Yeah.
But he just loves the contact, and it's great to see him making such an immediate difference in this defense here.
He's had already 3 or 4 tackles from our unofficial defensive stats.
Manjot stats. Yep.
Yeah, here goes Phillips over the middle. Oh, that one was there for Hall, and that one was there for Smith first. He just dropped it, and looked like Hall almost had a pick there, Matty C, as well.
Yeah, I think Hall was just watching that go, okay, this is coming to me, and Smith really had to work hard to even get a piece of it to try and stop that thing being a pick. We come up with a 3rd down now, and this is going to be about maybe 6 yards, a large 6.
Yes, it's a 6.
But not everyone's got a really efficient play here, and as the defense, all you have to do is just keep the play in front of you and just be mindful where your markers are here, and they may have escaped with that intercept in the end zone.
And here he is, looking, Phillips.
Now you got to come up to him.
Going deep for Mattress. Oh, he floated that one too deep. Wow, he had him. That was a touchdown, Matty C. No one's catching Mattress there.
It should have been. You need to lead him in field. Mattress had completely turned around, so he's facing. You can lead him in field. You can point. He doesn't. The ball floats out of bounds. And Hall did the right thing. He was waiting in that zone behind. He was effectively in a spy against the quarterback to say, if he runs, he's my man. And he did a great job. He stepped up when he had to put Phillips under pressure. You're not going to get the first down with your legs now. You have to throw it. And that was the result. A really heads-up play from a savvy veteran, Luke Hall. And
a great defensive series for the Gladiators, as they're going to get Norris. Is he going to field this one? Yes, he will. He's got Mattress. Oh, he beats him. He's going down the right side now. Can he do it? One on each sideline. No, he cannot. A good tackle made out there by Rain Nang. This time he gets the tackle. That'll be the end of the first, I believe, Matty C. There we go. End of the first quarter. Onto it.
Where he got marked there. It looks like it got marked at the 33. So from 33 to the 33 is 34 yards.
There we go. Perfect, Matty C. Got the math down.
How about that?
Yeah, wow.
17 yards either way.
And they've got D'Alvia down on the field, by the way. So there's a bit of a stoppage at the end of this first quarter. So it's not going to charge a timeout against Gladiators, because we're not in that sort of situation where it would. But, end of the first quarter, Matty C. Yeah, you'd hope D'Alvio can play the rest of this one. He's talking to us after the last game as well, Matty C. It was a rough one for him, because he was doing the long snapping duties, and we were telling him we don't usually call it out when he does a good job, but man, when he did miss that snap at the end, he was very hard on himself after the game. Yeah. He was just he's very upset. Let's just say.
And I think in that situation, they led that at the time. It was 12-6, and they led at that time.
Yep.
And to get that snap and get that punt away, it doesn't win the game for you. It's not the play that wins the game, but it does a lot in that situation where you're probably favourite at that point, even though you're giving the ball to the other team. You're just making the job harder for them.
Yeah.
To turn the ball over and you're sort of 12 yards out then and give the other team an invitation right there at the end of the game when you have no time to react if they do score, really tough. And like he was really deflated about it. His team did a great job doing what the Gladiators team do. They rallied around him and they really picked him up and said, well, mate, that's a tough position to be in, but you didn't put yourself in that position. It's a whole team sport. No one wins or loses alone here. And then talking to Jesse Date about the loss last week and the nature of the loss, he was just really sort of pleased that even though it was such a heartbreaking fashion to lose, that they're like, well, those sort of games, that a result like that will stick with you for a long time. You probably won't forget that sort of end to a game in a hurry. It will leave a scar. But why do we play? We play to be in those sort of games, to be in ones where we've got a chance to win. And regardless of the result, we love to play. We're not here to win gold medals. Is it about glory or is it about fun and self-improvement? Yeah. Well, it's about glory and it's about fun and self-improvement. So we're, do we learn from that? Yes. So we're better next week. So that's kind of what they took out of it. And I thought it was just a really mature approach by the team.
Yeah, just a bit concerned here for Dialvio, Matty C. He hasn't moved much since he went down there. It's been about 3 or so minutes since that play happened, and we haven't seen much movement there from Dialvio, so hopefully everything is okay with him.
Yeah, I hope so. One of the great young characters in the game.
Yeah,
too.
Character is definitely a good word.
Is that the right word?
That's a good word for him. He's a very animated fellow, that guy.
He's already come over and given me a whole bunch of feedback about the shirt I'm wearing today. I've turned up in a Wolf shirt. They are the 2-time defending champions, and each week this season I've been coming in neutral gear, and I was like, I've got each of the 4 clubs, so I'm going to wear one of each of them for the next 4 weeks before the Capital Bowl.
Yes.
And then decide what to do in the Capital Bowl. But man, there were 3 clubs I knew were going to be unhappy with my choice of shirt, and he was one of the very first to come up and make that known.
Yeah, and I think we've got a bunch of Centurions sitting next to us, Matty C, trying to keep this quiet so they don't hear us and make some attention. But Matty C, I think
they were people who are quite displeased with me.
Displeased.
A few of them came over and made it known, that, especially after their result against the Wolves, that potentially I was in the wrong colour.
Definitely, and look, to bring on the stretcher here for Dialvio, it's not looking great. Just really hope we can see some signs. But boy, he's in a lot of pain. He's grabbing his arm, from what I can see, Matty C, and and his head as well. So,
but they're doing a good job of taking good care of him, and we know that the groups at Positive Motion, who've been here all season to provide first aid and care for our players, do a sensational job, and it'll be in good care. We know our medic down there, Lizzie, is top notch.
Yeah, and you see some of the players like Isaac Williams, Tyler McShane as well, helping out. Trying.
These are senior members of our league executive, and here they are.
Helping out a young guy. Yeah.
Regardless of the colour of his shirt, this is what we do.
Yeah. Sad to see. A guy like Dialvio is playing some offense as well, Matty C. So he's going to be a big loss on both sides of the football here.
Well, and a large part of his job today is to keep a guy like Damon Smith quiet. Damon Smith had 10 receptions last week in that loss. So he's someone you have to keep an eye on. And they're going to be doing it tougher if they don't have Dialvio back out there for the afternoon. Keep an eye on that.
I'm just really going to keep an eye on him because I haven't seen him move much, Matty C. So just really hoping everything's okay with him. I did see him just move like a little bit. He's just sat up a bit. So, and then he's just gone back down. So just good to see him moving a little bit. But first down and 10 coming up here from the 38. You've got Murphy in the backfield, 2 receivers at either side here for the Gladiators. And going back, under pressure, Ray Nang just absolutely took him down, Matty C.
Yeah, no mercy, right? Just no mercy. We asked Coach Jason Ray today, over under 3.5 sacks for Ray Nang, because Rain always thinks he's pretty good for a bunch of them, and
there's one.
He wouldn't be drawn, but there's one. Let's chalk it up.
Look, second down coming up and about 17 to go Yeah, Maddie, I just need to apologise to viewers as well. I was working around the scoreboard. It's been a bye week, so I accidentally left on like the final score button, and then I couldn't do the down distance. But we got the down distance now, Maddie.
We're back.
Yeah, just had to explain for the viewers. That was my fault there. 2nd and 17 coming up. I worked it out.
There we go. And we've got a 14-6 game here. The Wolves lead, but while they've got the ball and they've shown they can drive it, we'll see what they can do.
Over the middle, here's Humphries again, and a good catch of about 7 or 8 yards, Matty C.
Yeah, and he's got all 4 receptions today. The 3 from the hand of Matt King, and now the first connection with Bailey McManus. And we're talking about that, mate, about how just with his experience, he's now actually a real target that McManus hasn't had for weeks. And the difference that makes, like that was just such a simple play for McManus to break down, and you see too that Humphries has got the experience to just take the ball, take the contact, and get down.
3rd down, 9 yards to go here. 2 receivers either side here for the Gladiators. Does they await the snap? McManus. See who he targets here. He's going back to throw, looking over the top, and Casey with the catch. Casey gonna break a tackle, but he's not gonna get there. And you think this is 4 down territory? There's a lot of contact at the end there, Matty C. Just a little worried about flag, but no flags on the field. It's gonna be 4th and about 5. It's gotta be 4 down territory now.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it because you don't have recognised kicker. I don't think there's any point punting it here. Your defence has shown they can do a good job standing up, and look, the way their drive ended last time around was with an intercept in the end zone. They did a great job of stopping the Wolves from moving the ball, even though they got 23 yards out of it, and then the punt away. Here they are on the edge of the 30. I just think you got to be aggressive. You got to try and score points, and this is the way to do it. You only need 4 or 5 yards. Well, yeah, everyone's going to have a play that they think can probably get them that. Let's see if they can execute.
So 4th and 5 here. Back to throw. McManus over the middle. Oh, Casey with the catch again. Oh, Casey, did he lose the football? He was down. He was down. And that's going to be a 1st down. Great play by Dane Casey. Back-to-back plays to get the 1st down, Matty C.
Yeah, lovely. He's going to pick up about 7 yards for that. He'll get marked for that. And it was just a really savvy little play there to get that ball and get down. It was just a well-drawn-up play. It was a bit behind him. He had to catch that on his shoulder pad to try and bring it down. This is why it pops out at the end. But he survived the ground, and they're going to give him the catch.
So here is 1st and 10 at the red zone now, Matty C. 1st and 10 at the 20. This is where they have had struggles all season. We saw in the first drive ending an interception as well, Matty C. You want to see them do well here if they want to stay in the game. 1st and 10. Norris in the backfield now. McManus awaits the snap. Casey and Humphries at the top of the screen. And here goes McManus, and McManus going to go, and Cheetah got to him first. The rest of the defense comes afterwards. It'll be 2nd and about 7.
Yeah, and look, you can see the great play there. Dave O'Brien comes tearing off that edge. He's on that. Job is to contain that, and he immediately takes away the quarterback's option for the pitch. You're then saying, okay, so the quarterback now is going to make the play, and he still manages to get back and affect that play, but he's forcing that quarterback into where he knows the rest of his bodies are. You don't want to surrender the sideline.
2nd and 8. There's 2-yard gain officially there for McManus. He's got Casey and Humphries at the top of the screen. And then you also have Morgan at the very bottom of the screen as number 23 as well. Norris in the backfield. Back to throw. McManus looking over the middle for Humphries. Did he get it? He caught it.
He did.
Nathan Cope was on the spot, Matty C. Very close. And it's going to be 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, I reckon we'll give him 6 yards on that. And just how delicate are those hands? You know, it's just a really nice little catch. He's gone ahead now. He's got that's a 4 of 6 passing today, McManus. They're all under 10 yards. He's not trying to bite off more than he can chew.
Yeah.
But when you've got somebody who you know you can trust with hands like that, doesn't that just change the outlook for this offense? They've got 1 first down on this drive, very important. So important to make sure you get the second one here. You got 2 shots at it, right? This is effectively 2nd down because we know they're not going to settle for a field goal or punt here. They're going to go for it on 4th.
There it is. Wolves stack the line of scrimmage. Showing blitz, they got them.
Got him to move.
And here it is, going for the touchdown. Humphries, touchdown, Gladiators. And Jake Humphries, what a game he's having today. That's his 6th catch of the game, and he gets the touchdown that he probably should have had last time, Matty C.
That makes me so pleased.
And and he's fired up, Matty C.
I'm so pleased. It's his first game back. He was like, oh, we'll just see how it goes out there. But if this is just seeing how it goes, I can't wait for the rest of the season. He and Brody Norris have made such a difference to this offense today.
Yes, indeed. They have been so good. Both the touchdown scorers, Matty C, also throwing Casey on that drive with those 2 catches. Now they have to tie it up. That's the big thing. They have to get this 2-point conversion. They only converted, I think, 1 2-point conversion. It was last week, wasn't it, Matty C?
Yeah, and here we are at 5 of 7 passing, 39 yards and a touchdown for Bailey McManus, looking like a different quarterback.
Yes. Shall I say the week before they converted the 2-pointer, I think, against the Centurions. It wasn't against the Stars last game. But they have only converted like 1 or 2 of these opportunities. So it's important they get one here. McManus awaiting the snap. No one goes in motion. Goes to Rowan Murphy. He's a mountain of work to do. And he gets his helmet ripped off in the end. But he's going to lose yards. No good, Matty C. And it remains 14-12. But, Matty C, I think this is the best we've seen the Gladiators play all season. We haven't seen them move the ball like this in the first half of games all year.
No, we definitely haven't. I like it. I really like it. I said to Jesse Date today too. He said, look, maybe playoffs aren't on the cards now and we can be freed of that pressure. I'm like, are you sure? Because pound for pound, some of the scores that have been put up this year don't really reflect how well your team plays. And I wouldn't put it past your boys to maybe surprise a team or two on the run home. You've got 3 weeks. There's no reason why he couldn't, right? He kind of then had to concede. Well, okay, so we're not under the pressure of having to worry about it, but it's nice, I guess, to know that that's still something that's possible. And this is a team who just look uplifted, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think for neutrals as us, Matty C, I think it's great to see a game like this as well. We've talked about throughout the season the gap between the top 2 and the bottom 2. It's sort of been a thing for the last 2 years. We've had the 4-team system. It's been a bit of a gap between the Saints and the Wolves compared to the Glads and the Stars. And look, it's good to see a game like this where it's a top 2 versus bottom 2, and they're really fighting it out. I like this. Yeah, it's great for the league.
It has all the fun about it, that game that we saw between the Centurions and the Gladiators last year, where it was like a 23-26 game and it was just back and forth all day. And I'm hoping that this is sort of, the tenor has been set and this is going to be a back and forther.
Oh, Mattress watches it go out of bounds. Great play. That Ty Montgomery play, Matty C.
Yeah. No, he knew all about it. He knew he just got to let that run towards the sideline, and if it's in danger of being collected before over the sideline, you just touch it. You're out. You touch it, then the ball's out.
Yeah, like Ty Montgomery has done a couple times with the Packers over the years on those kickoffs, and that's really where the reference was for those who aren't as well versed in the NFL world as us, Matty C. But yeah, it's been an interesting start so far, Matty C.
It has been. I'm so entertained by this game today. The Centurions, the Gladiators, have that incredibly fun kick return, but then they show on that drive, we can get some first downs, we can go and get a touchdown, no worries. And, I mean, that's their second red zone trip. They also had the earlier red zone trip where they turned the ball over, but they recovered from that. Yeah. And that's kind of a steal that we haven't sort of seen before. They've, I think, sort of found it harder to get back in the arm wrestle when something goes wrong. Yeah. And do you see the grit? I love that.
Yeah, and on that series you're talking about, straight after on the defensive series, they forced a punt. It was a 3 and out. Yeah. They just got them off the field straight away. And they're going to re-kick this one because the Wolves decide to take the penalty. They're going to re-kick it.
So they'll just trot the kick off 5 yards further back. There you go.
It's a late hit as well, so it's going to offset. We're going to go back. And Jesse Date's going to get the ball in the tee, and we're going to get back on the way. From the 35, we'll kick it off again.
So offsetting means both teams have had 2 penalties each. The Gladiators had that one right down on their own goal line where they just ate up half the distance. It was only about a 3-yarder, and they've had a false start. The Wolves have also had a false start, but then they had that roughing one earlier on that drive that they did get the intercept on for 15 yards. So both sides keeping it fairly clean, only 2 each. Fairly clean.
So Date kicks it off again. He's rolling this one to Mattress. Oh, it goes through his legs. He just got clean bowled, Matty C.
He didn't.
And he just went through. He didn't?
Didn't touch it.
Didn't touch it. Didn't touch it? Oh, good.
Didn't touch it.
Yeah, first down for the 25, Matty C.
Yeah, we've seen that before, because if you touch it, then it goes in the end zone. It's not a touchback.
Yeah.
We saw that in the
that's what I was saying. He was clean bowled.
Steelers Vikings.
Yeah.
We saw that.
That's what I was saying, Matty C. He's got clean bowled, like it just went straight for his stumps, as the cricket reference goes.
That's it. The Steelers just keep coming up today too.
Yeah, it was the Steelers and Seahawks game. That
Seahawks,
one. And
Seahawks,
it was the rookie running back Caleb Johnson, wasn't it? Yeah.
Have we seen him since? I mean,
yeah. That's where he's gone. Oh, okay.
That's what happened. You see, we haven't seen him since.
I forgot about his name until just then. Thank you, Matty C.
Caleb with a K.
First down and 10 from the 25. Let's see if the Wolves can muster up a better drive this time. Here goes Phillips looking for Matthews. He's open. He catches it on the run. One man to beat his king. He's not going to catch him. Touchdown, Wolves. Nick Mattress moves the scoreboard immediately. You just love those wheel routes for him, Matty C.
Yeah, you really do. A 75-yard touchdown, one-play drive. You love one-play drives. The defense may not love the one-play drive. They're going to be back out there in these humid conditions so much faster, but they do it with the knowledge that they've got a little bit of scoreboard safety now. That's going to push us out to an 8-point lead, chance to push it out to 9. That makes it a 2-score game. That just is an insurance policy you love to have. And what a clean play. Nick Mattress so fast. If he's even, it's so true of everybody else, but especially with the speed of Mattress, he's leaving.
Exactly, and good to see him get the touchdown there. Talk about that in a second. We'll watch Tokley get this extra point. Matty C, it's going to be very important, this one, because a touchdown 2-point conversion can tie it if he misses this one. So to get it out to that 2-score game, he'll always get that one down the middle, as you know, Matty C. It's 21-12. Great showing, and for Mattress as well, very happy to see him just actually get on the board. I think last game was probably, I think both of us would say, might be one of the worst ones he's had. Like, he had a very rough game, to be fair. I mean, he fumbled the opening kickoff and he dropped a few passes here and there. It was a rough showing against the Centurions. It was great to see him just break away, doing what he loves best.
Funny thing about Nick too is that he's a very passionate player, and once things go well, a lot of things go well.
Yeah.
But gee, if you hit some adversity, it can really disrupt him, and it can be hard for him to get back on track. And we saw that against the Centurions last week in what was a big game, and I think he felt a lot of pressure to be good. And when a few things weren't going right, I think that compounded. And he's really taken the time in the last 2 weeks to then focus. And here he is, looking great, just like you'd expect.
And here is Date going to get the kickoff this time. Norris going to lead block for him. And Date just going to play it safe, get down around about the 33-yard line. We've seen the Gladiators move the ball on back-to-back drives, Matty C. See if they can do it again. It'd be great to see them go 3 drives in a row with some great offensive momentum. Yeah,
and I mean, it's been a fun game in that we've seen both teams move the ball pretty well. I've seen 3 touchdown drives and then that wonderful defensive stop from the Gladiators. And then on the other side of it, we've seen that wonderful kickoff return. We've seen 2 red zone drives and a score from one of them for the Gladiators. We haven't seen them punt. So it's been a fun offensive day. Teams are executing well, and I love seeing that. I'm very biased to good offensive football. I don't mind a good slugfest defensive, but I prefer watching when the ball's pinging around. And here we are, 33 points in less than a half of football already.
Here it is. So we've got first down, 10 yards to go. Casey and Humphreys at the top of the screen. Got the bottom screen as well. Panaccio in there. So here's McManus going through the middle, and McManus gets a good gain, Matty C, of about 3 yards.
Yeah, and you see what he did there? He threw the dummy pass. He just kind of pump faked just to sort of say, hey, you got to respect I could throw this, and it just throws the linebacker long enough that he goes and picks up 3 or 4 yards through the middle. Looking good. And this element where he is willing to run, I think, has changed this offense a little bit too. Yep. So if the pass is there, great, and if it's not, no worries. He's willing to jet it.
And how much offense do you think Jack Panaccio has played, Matty C? I mean, he's out there receiving now for all these injuries.
Yellow boots at second bottom from the screen here. It's not his preferred thing. It really isn't. But we know he can catch him. He had 2 intercepts earlier in the year against the Centurions.
And here's McManus looking, dancing left side. He's got to go. He bails out, balls out. Oh, it's almost recovered. It falls out of bounds. Falls out of bounds. Wills had it, and I think he collided with Noble, and it just sent that ball racing out of bounds.
It did, and what that does to the call here, if that ball had just gone out of bounds from when it was fumbled, it would have been out from where the fumble happened. But because it was touched by a Wolf, they're going to give him the yardage where it was touched. Are they? Hang on.
Maybe not.
Then it was touched by the Wolves and out of bounds. That should get spotted where it went out of bounds now because it was played out by the Wolves. No, they're not going to do it. They're going to spot it where the ball came out.
Third down.
Okay.
Third down.
So no yardage.
Officially lost one, I think. Yes, it was 2nd and 7 going to...
We're going to call it officially a loss of yard. Got it.
Yeah. There we go.
I feel like he should have got the ball from where it went out. But anyway, this is the ruling and we're rolling with that.
Yeah, maybe...
You guys have been to courses for this that I haven't.
Yeah, maybe a different set of rules that we're used to, Matty C, as well. True. Just remember, we're
playing
used
IFAF rules here.
Yeah, IFAF, close to the college as well. So 3rd and 8 coming up. McManus facing adversity on this drive already. He's going to go back to throw, looking under pressure. He throws it up, intercepted. There he is again, Noble. He just dives onto the football, Matty C.
Yeah, and that's a regrettable end to that drive because McManus panicked. He just panicked and threw the ball across the middle, and rightly, because he had Kajalainen just steaming at him, and that is a big frame to be coming at you. You don't want to be hit with the ball because you don't know if you'll keep the ball, but that is a panic throw across the middle. There was not a green jersey inside. It's a really regrettable way to finish that drive.
And Noble just diving for it. Another interception for him, Matty C. We've seen this a lot the last couple of years. Last year he was the interception king. This year he's already good. I think this is the... There's a timeout here to Gladiators. So, timeout Gladiators, they're getting some issues there, getting 11 players on the field. Panaccio is very frustrated as well, just with some of the players not coming on the field here, Matty C. It's just something, these sort of little things as well, I think, they're just got to clean up here, the Gladiators, to really stay in this game as well.
They really do. They've been doing it tough because they've had such rotating personnel through the year, and just knowing which teams you're on and keeping up with which players have come off treatment of any sort, or it can make it tough for these players to always understand who needs to be on the field when and what package they're in. So you see a little bit of that in the less experienced teams. You don't tend to see it in the more experienced teams. Like, can you remember the last time we saw something like that from the Wolves, for instance?
Yeah.
Very well drilled in it, and it's just, I think, part of that experience, but also a bit of a rotating set of heads through the Gladiators team this year has sort of led to just a few more of those sort of procedural penalties like that, where 10 men on the field instead of 11. Sometimes you see them with 12 on the field instead of 11, and that just happens. It just happens.
1st and 10 coming up here from the 44-yard line. Here's Phillips looking over the middle. Here's Damon Smith. He's got a man to beat. He's going to go through. One more to beat. Oh, Panaccio gets him down for a big hit, but he gets down inside the 20, Matty C.
Yeah, I think that's a 22-yard catch. That's the 6th completion from his 10 attempts so far for Matty Phillips. Looking quite good there. And what a lovely grab. There was something just so rhythmic about the way he plucked that thing out of the air, hit his stride, and immediately was in a position where he could change his direction and pick up extra yardage. He's so fun to watch when he's in space. Damon Smith.
Got the ball from the 44 to about the 17, Matty C.
And 2 for 37 today for Damon Smith so far, after that big 10-catch day last week.
1st down coming up. Phillips awaits the snap again. Handoff. Here goes Dorje falling forward. He's going to get a couple of yards.
Yeah, we'll give him a couple of yards on that one. He just kind of tripped up, but he had enough momentum already that he was always going to be falling forward. And you like any player in a 1st and 10 that will gain you yardage. You love that.
Yeah, it's a good play there from Dorje and Matty C. See what they can do here inside the red zone again. Already converted their red zone trips. That was an area that Jason Ray really wanted to focus on this week.
Yeah, I mean, they were 1 of 4 in the red zone last week, and I mean, it's also different when you don't have your kicker, and there were 2 drives where they probably would have taken the field goal, so it's a different team this week.
And here goes the quick one. Smith, one man to beat. Oh, again, good tackle there by Mills, I believe there. Date, actually. Date on that tackle, Matty C. The old coach.
At about the 7. So that's going to be 1st down.
1st and goal to go here, Matty C, from the 7-yard line. Yeah, Date with the big tackle to stop the touchdown. As I was just saying, Matty C, that old coach in him, he's still out there fighting for the team.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. It's 3rd and 1 officially.
Yeah. And if you see him on defense, that's fine. It's if you see him on offense, you know it's panic stations. That was from the mouth of Coach Jesse Date earlier today.
And he's going to guard Smith again, one-on-one at the bottom of the screens. 3rd and 1. Didn't exactly get him to the line, but it's pretty close. Phillips, quick one. Mattress at his shoelaces. Oh, what a hit over the top by Handren. Once again, but Mattress holds on for the first down and goal.
Yeah, there you go. What happened on the last play too is he didn't quite get enough yardage for the first down. So that was the 3rd down. This is the first down. And what great contact by Richard Handren. Oh, lovely. It's lovely to see that on. It's a 2-yard catch. But wasn't that fun to watch?
It was a great one, Matt. You see, we always love just good, clean hits, and that was a good one. Just good shot to the back there, and just took him out. First and goal.
3 for 95 and a touchdown. Smith 3 for 50. So that's where the ball's going.
And here's Phillips. Handoff. Keep. And Phillips for his second rushing touchdown of the game for the Wolves, Matty C.
Yeah, and a simple little 5-yarder, and you just fake that handoff. All the space opens up because it bites the linebacker in, as it should. Dorje's already scored a short area touchdown today. Phillips takes advantage. Beautiful play.
Yeah, and I think, Matty, that might be the first time I've put in the touchdown in the middle of a sentence, really. I
love that. See, even you're finding new ways to be dynamic in mid-season, mate.
I mean, Phillips calls me a spirit animal. I had to just reinvent it a little bit. Just a bit for him, He put in the commentary notes in, every tournament I commentate as well. So make sure that I have to say it every time he's on the field. As Tokley, he's going to get a good snap and a good kick once again. 4 for 4 today. And Matty C, 28-12. It's a 2-touchdown game still. And 2 extra points as well.
But 2 2-point tries now. So that's the way they have to transact because they don't have recognised kicker. We've talked about that. But as we approach half-time now, we've got 40 points on the board between these two teams. And I love that. I just love to see that the offenses are clicking. It's sort of funny too because we've seen the Gladiators be really good with the ball today. And they've had a turnover in the end zone. They had that turnover around midfield. But it's sort of a pity that that's the difference in the game because they've really been in this game in a way that we haven't seen them be in the game against such quality opponent all season long. And you get into half-time and I think Jesse Dade will probably have some words to say to try and help rally the guys, but I think it'd be hard to be upset at them. They're playing actually really good football.
Yeah, and I'm just watching the Gladiators sideline. Don't see either quarterback have their helmet on at the moment. As Date's going to get the kickoff and he's going to field it inside the 10. They've already done this once. He needs one man to beat. He's going around, gets taken down from behind. Oh boy, Matty C, that was a very interesting tackle. It's all legal, but man, you just hope that he doesn't land on Date's legs. He did a good job there. Good tackle as well. I think that was Aaron Milano on that one.
Yeah, lovely. And we're expecting to see a nice return there. We get a really good return. Jesse Date, 2 returns, each for 27 yards. How about that? Some nice symmetry there. And they'll start with the ball on their own 37. This is their 5th drive of the game too, and it's been fun. We saw their first drive was the kickoff return, 94 yards in one go. The next one they drove it 70 yards, only to throw a pick in the end zone, and then they started from the 38-yard line going in after they got a great kick return from Brodie Norris on that punt. They score from that, and last drive they didn't even get to the first down yardage before they threw the intercept. So this is the get right drive. You've been doing so many things right. Last drive was really the only one that didn't get some momentum to it. So get back to what you were doing. You had some good things going. And Matt King's out there now, is he? No,
it's McManus again. Yes, and Murphy in the backfield with him. Back to throw a quick one. No, he's going to run it. They're going to run it through the middle. Oh, boy. Really risking himself, Matty C. I don't know. Sooner or later, I think they have to get the ball back in Jake Humphrey's hands, really, to get back in this one.
Here's our 2-minute warning.
2 minutes.
I think what you see here, too, is they're missing a couple of the recognised running backs, right? No John Butterfield, who have come really accustomed to. There's no Izzy Gortuza this week. So a couple of guys who we've seen carry the ball with some regularity for them. And I think what I like that they're doing is they're doing this, quick snap, quick pass attempt to try and help freeze a linebacker and then give McManus time to decide what to do next. And I like that that's buying him a little bit more time.
Yeah.
When you go and you gain 5 yards on first down, it's an excellent result, no matter which way you go about it.
So 2nd and 5, 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Here's Morgan and Norris, and 2 receivers at the top of the screens, Casey and Humphreys jumped a little early.
Yeah. He owns it. He's brain fart, and you can see him the wide receiver's job there, and you see this in the NFL. I've been watching the NFL as you just watching the ball.
Yeah.
Because you want to be deaf. You just want to be deaf and you don't move till the ball goes. But everybody else who can't see the ball is reliant on the cadence.
Yeah.
The wide receivers, you don't have that burden. You can just watch the ball and you just wait till you see the ball move. So Humphries will be filthy at himself because that takes us a 2nd and 5 back out to 2nd and 10. It's
basic and incompletion, yeah. And I was like, here we go again. Maddie's gonna talk about receivers false starting. I'm like,
be crazy.
It does, because you're a former receiver. How many times have you false start towards
One time. And my coach gave it to me in that drive. He's like, the drive stalled, and my penalty was a big part of that. So he gave it to me, and I very quickly learned.
And handoff. Here goes Rowan Murphy. Gets taken down around the legs. Gets a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah. I like seeing him get his truck wheels moving though. Like you knew that the contact was always going to be low on a guy that big. You don't want to go high on him because like what do you grab? And his legs keep moving. You've got to go low and they bring him down pretty quickly. But I just love seeing him get that momentum up. He gets a long 3, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't give him 4, but I mean that's better than 3. So we're in a 3rd and a long 7, a long 6.
Yeah, that I would say 7 there. Maddie C. It's going to be Norris in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. McManus has to get this. Oh, he's going to pitch it. Here's Norris. We've seen him do this before. Oh, he goes through. 1 man to beat. Oh, Norris, what a game he's having. Going to get past Bills, but he gets the first down inside the 25. Oh, my goodness. He's going with the timeout taken as well. 1st and 10 coming up, Maddie C. Take it from me.
35-yard run. I'm glad you spent so long talking about it. I'm trying to do the maths on the run. And a beautiful run. I mean, oh my goodness. He puts his right foot in the dirt, cuts upfield, and then he's got time. He's got a lot of time to see what's in front of him, and he does a great job breaking that contact. It was number 25 coming across trying to make contact on him, Corey Wales, and he manages to get away from that. Unfortunately, as he spins out of it, he just runs straight into Matt Phillips, who does a good job hanging on to the contact. But this is what we need. Yeah, you can have these nice little dink and dunk plays, and we've seen them do that well in the offense so far. Lots of short completions, nothing really over 10 yards. But where they're making their boom plays is when the ball is in hand with the guy who's got room to see in front of him. And it's been Norris every time from either the kickoff or he's had another great run. We've seen Jake Humphries with the ball in the hands nice and early in the play and turn upfield, and he's got space. You can see where he's going. So there's a real, I think, deliberate strategy to do this, and it's really paying off.
And Maddie C, very important to have 1 timeout left. They need to get a score here because they get the ball to start the second half as well. So the Gladiators need to basically double dip and get back in this game. There's still a lot of time, Maddie C, a whole nother half. But a score right now is the most important thing. This is the most important drive of the game by far.
Super important because, yeah, as you say, when you've got a weapon like Norris who's likely to be receiving that second half kickoff, if you can score here, you're on the 24-yard, 25-yard line going in, and you know you're inside 2 minutes. You got to work the clock, you got to work the short yardage, and just bite it off in pieces, but you got to act with urgency.
Ball at the 26 is 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. Let's see if they can capitalize. McManus back to throw, looking deep ball. Humphries in 5 coverage. Oh, it was caught and dropped. It was dropped. That interception. Noble spoiled it, I think, for Nang.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Noble had his eyes on it. He didn't know Nang was behind him. He goes up. Nang gets his hands on it. He doesn't know that it's Nang, so he tries to get it out of the hands of the player, which is, you know, you can't see. It's what you think you need to do.
It's triple coverage there as well. It's a dangerous football.
But you see, the ball doesn't come out of the hand well for McManus. He knew where he needed to get it to, and it's something not right about the way he lets it go, and it wobbles, and it never had the legs. So it was a difficult play. He needed the pass to be perfect. Anything short of that wasn't going to cut it. He gets out of jail.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. McManus looking over the top. Oh, Humphries catches it well. Mattress with a good cover tackle. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. And Maddie, this is the game we love to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was exactly what McManus was hoping for either. I think he was actually sort of looking down the field and hoping to hit his receiver, who was sort of on that long streak down that right-hand side, and it just came out weird, and Humphries was just there. I think that was what happened there. This going for the long bomb, though, I don't support it. It's not what McManus does well, and it's not what they've been doing well to keep in this game.
And here's McManus under pressure. Oh, he was there. He put it onto the receiver's hands, but number 23, who we don't have the number for at the moment.
One of their great juniors.
Almost.
We knew they were going to
Yes.
be bringing some juniors up today, so we'll get that number at halftime. You see him in the gold helmet. He's built a bit like Matty C. If Matty C was stretched out a bit too, I was never that tall. But hit him in the hands. It's 4th down. You're going to go for it because we're late in the half. You might as well.
That's their last timeout. It will be 4th and 9 when we come out of the timeout, Matty C. Wow, this is a game, Matty C. If they can get something here, we saw on 3rd and long they got a big play out of Brody Norris. Is it him? Is it Humphreys? Casey? Who's going to step up?
Well, and I think the way you do it is what they've been doing so well up to now is they've been getting the ball into the hands of the receiver and then giving them space to turn and make yards after. Yeah. I think that's you're not converting the long pass. The 2 passes that have gone for more than 10 yards in this game from McManus have been because they've got the ball in the receiver's hands and the receiver's been able to do something with it, and I think that is your way forward here. Whatever your play call is here, you're not trying to get the ball in the air over the 1st down marker. You need to get the ball in the hands and let the player get the ball over the 1st down marker.
Yep, good old yak, they say yards after catch. That's the key for Matty C. As here is 4th and 9 coming up. Norris in the backfield this time. You got Morgan, Casey, and the young number 23 at the top of the screen. Humphreys one-on-one against Mattress at the bottom of the screen. And King at quarterback. 4th down and 9. King has a better deep ball, they think. He's going to go for it all. And he throws it up there. Incomplete. But you can see his arm doing a lot better. Timeout. There's a flag down at the end of the play. That's a line. Offsides against the offense.
Yeah, maybe just lined up.
And that's going to be turnover and downs.
Fine. But here we are at a spot where it was 4th and 9. You needed to either, with McManus, shorter ball and get the ball upfield, or you've got the benefit of being able to bring him back King his arm. We were hoping for a big arm. Actually, may have been a little too big on that one.
Yes, as we got the number there for number 23 there, Matty C. It's Archie Stacey. As well, so yeah, I think just the slot receiver, I was watching a replay, slot receiver just lined a little bit ahead of where the line judge was, and you know, the line judge is always going to call it. As a receiver, you always check in with the line judge to see if you're offsides. Is that right, Matty C?
Yeah, and your line judge is always going to help you because it's an amateur league, right? So they just want to see people improve.
And here's Phillips. He's got a deep ball. Going deep for Smith. Oh, taped it to the McManus with the pick. Oh, my goodness. Whoa, what a block. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Hendren just absolutely murdered Marshall down that block, Matty C.
I'd like to report a murder.
Oh, my God. Holy crap, Matty C. He just like, I don't know, Matty C. That has to be cool. That was a rough block. I just saw the replay there. Boy. Oh boy. He was just standing still. Poor Marshall. He's a young guy playing against a veteran there. And gosh, Matty C. That's a tough one. But look, in a desperation throw, Jesse Date, Matty C, with that pick. It'll be halftime. That was the last play. But man, wow, Matty C, can you believe that? Jesse Day going up, just getting his fingers to it. McManus had a chance. They didn't really have the time, though, to muster up another drive. It's going to be halftime. It's good to see they didn't let up another score, really. And they got a turnover out of that, too.
Yeah, they did. And I think, this is something that you taught as an offensive player, and it sounds counterintuitive. If you can't catch it, hit it down, right? Make sure no one can catch it. On defense, it's the other way around. If you can't catch it, hit it up. Yeah. Because there is a great chance there's more of the guys in your colour jersey out there in that area than there is of people in the other jersey, and you just give yourself the opportunity to do something like that. Tipped by Date, intercept by McManus at about the 45. They return it over halfway. He gets about 18 yards on the return, and poor Jack Marshall just gets buried.
Wow.
What a way to finish the half. But I think that play is really, I think it exemplifies the kind of play we've had in the half. You can't look away because something exciting is brewing all the time. Both teams have had bomb plays out of nowhere, and both have had sustained drives as well. So it's just been compelling football today, Manjot, and a really great showing from this plucky Gladiators team.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of that last play, knowing the timing as well. We don't have like official clocks at the ground or in the commentary broadcast or anything like that. But just to see that last play, we kind of knew that's why the Gladiators went to the end zone as well. They didn't really have that much time. Probably had about 10 seconds, you would say.
Yep.
Yeah, so really, Matty C, they didn't have the time, so you can understand why they were going deep at the end of the half. They were just going for Hail Marys too.
Why not?
There's a bunch of deep balls for both teams, and yeah, wow. Great ending to the half, Matty C, and I think this is going to be a cracker of a second half. Gladiators get the football. We'll be back after the break. our guy Matty C is going to come back on in a couple of seconds as well. So just going to have a look at this. So yeah, just looking around everywhere at the moment, just waiting for the second half to start. So looks like as well Gladiators will get the kickoff as we get ready for the third quarter to begin. Just waiting for our guy Macy. First half, we've been having a good start to that one. As we'll just get some of the stats Macy tallied up as well at the half. You have Matt Phillips, 8 for 12, 151, a touchdown and an interception. You have Dogdale, 5 catches, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. Damon Smith had some great receiving as well, Matty C, and yeah, quite a lot. I mean, you're the one that can read your sheet better than me, so I'll let you take that one away as well. You'll get the stats up when he gets ready to start the second half. As Tokley with the ball in the tee, Norris and Date deep to receive. We get ready for this one. So here's Tokley just getting things underway. So see if the Gladiators can get back in this one. So we just wait for our guy Matty C to come back. As Tokley with a shorter one this time, getting it away, and he's going to kick that out of bounds. I think they'd rather just keep it away from Brody Norris after his great returns, or even Jesse Dave's got a couple, both going for 27 each. Matty, I think we've got him now. How's it going, Matty C?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm pretty excited about the second half too, because we saw the Gladiators do such a good job when they had the ball in the first half. They really only had one disappointing drive, so hopefully they can keep that momentum up. Pound for pound, they're playing extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
Against this very experienced two-time champion Wolves team.
Yes, and just a number change I noted, maybe just for this game, but to keep eligibility, Luke Hall ball be at the 35, first down, and just to keep on top of the numbers, I saw Luke Hall switch to number 53 at halftime, so just keep note of that for the rest of this game. He had to switch because I think he's going in as the center, Matty C. You can see him. Yeah, you can see him there. So just something I saw on the bench. I saw him turn his face there, Matty C. Just look at the crowd. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Luke, of course. So he switched numbers there. First down and 10. McManus back to throw, looking under pressure. He gets taken down by the blue gloves of Charlie Sturt. Wow, and the blue helmet, shall I say, as well. What a tackle.
Yeah, he's doing that same thing again where it pump fakes and then immediately tries to break through. It's almost like the delay play that you see for running backs sometimes, but they're using the quarterback as the running back in that delay, and they're just using that pump fake pass as a way to try and help freeze the linebackers just so he gets a second to get a little bit of a leverage on them. But this play goes for -5 yards. And he sort of struggled to keep himself on par with being on 0 yards of rushing, having taken a few hefty hits in the first half. But McManus, that one hurts his average.
So second and 15. Back to throw, McManus looking under pressure, and he's going to slide down. Boy, coming in off the edge, Jackson Reed down the right side. Cheetah forces him to slide. Third down. Third and about 14 coming up. After a gain of 1 on that slide. Yeah, it's a long way to go here for the Gladiators. They've gone backwards, Macy. They need to start finding a way to get to that first down marker.
Well, I mean, how often do we say it too? If your first play from scrimmage at 1st and 10 is a negative play, it is so hard to recover that and get a first down. We've only really seen it once today where there was a foul on a first down, took it out to 1st and 15, and we saw the Wolves pull that back with a couple of nice short area passes. We'll see if they've got it within them to do that, because we've seen the Gladiators find stuff from within a few times today.
McManus, handoff, here goes Rowan Murphy, just getting some of the yardage back, but good tackle down low. Matty C. It's going to bring up 4th down here, and that's going to bring on the punting unit. So good tackle made there, Matty C. And I think that was repeated once again.
Is it bringing on the punting unit? Because I can see that we've got
Ooh, Date.
Luke Hall still snapping, but maybe Jesse Date will do a short snap punt.
Yeah, I think so there.
Because they don't have any wide receivers out. Everyone's tight.
Definitely going protection mode. We saw Date do this last week as well, Matty C, as 4th and 12 coming up. He's going to kick it.
That's a good purchase.
Good one there, and Mattress gonna take it from the 35. He's a dangerous returner. Here's Hall, the long snapper, gets past him, and he gets past Humphreys. One man to beat. Phyllis with a lead block. Oh, he's going down the right side. He's in. Touchdown, Gladiators. Wolves. Touchdown, Wolves. He got through the entire Gladiators team, Matty C.
Wow, and this is the exact opposite of the Nick Mattress we saw 2 weeks ago against the Centurions, where things just were not working. He's got a 75-yard blasting touchdown down the sideline, and now he gets the return. He takes it 64 yards on a house call, and that jumps the score up to 34-12. And it's not quite how I think the Gladiators were hoping to come out in the second half.
Yep.
What an electric play by Nick Mattress.
That's the Mattress we know and love, Matty C. Oh my goodness. 2 long touchdowns today. That one was a 65-yard return. You got the numbers for the other one. I think that was a 75-yarder there on the catch. As here's Tokley, and he's got that one through as usual. It's 35-12. Yeah, so Mattress, Matty C, as I was just saying, 75-yard receiving touchdown, 65 yards on the punt return just then, and makes score 35-12. Ooh, what's going on here? There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they may be coming out to reattempt this. Just watching for the white cap referee, who we're pretty sure it's going to be a false start.
Yeah, it looks like the right side.
Illegal procedure.
Yeah.
Only a third penalty of the day for the Wolves.
So here it is. The attempt from 25 yards for the extra point. See what Tokley can do. Good hold, good kick. And Matty C, you were saying the distance was great. You got it there. That's what really you love seeing in that sort of extra point circumstance, is that he's got great distance on it as well. And you can see why it's so important there.
Yeah, right. You don't want to just lob over. You want to put it through with some certainty, and it doesn't really seem it, but when we were on the ground earlier, it was actually quite windy coming from pretty much over the back of our shoulders and slightly sort of left to right. The prevailing wind over here is generally from the west, and we're looking from the west towards the east here, so it does kind of tend to come over our shoulder a bit, and it is just surprisingly more windy down there than you'd think. You can sort of see just on some of the trees on the far side of the field too. It's enough to very visibly give them a bit of a shake around.
They're just going to get some players on the field, and Tokley awaits the kickoff. Deep to receive Norris and Date. Bit of quiet around here after such a noisy and excitable first half. Bit of hush around after that Wolves return. They're going deep. Here's Date. Jesse Date. Still got some legs on him. See if he can get more than 27 this time. Might not get back there. And he's going to get to the 20. And then
17-yard return. 11-7 today.
17. Yes, indeed. And
so no penalty, right? He could have stepped away from that, watch it go through the end zone, they bring it out to the 20, he returns it to get out to the 20. But when you return it, you give yourself the chance for something good to happen. As a defense, you also give yourself a chance for something good to happen too on a return, so you don't mind it. Especially kicking it towards Date instead of Norris. I feel like they're just taking their chances here, because Norris has burned them a couple of times.
Indeed, and it's going to be first down and 10 coming up here from the 20. Going to bring on some players as well. Looks like they bring on number 15 as well, Matty C, for the Gladiators. And got Humphreys, who's big in that first half. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, which is Stacey, and you've also got Morgan at the top of the screen.
Number 15 is Acing Bangara. We've seen him in previous weeks as well. Looks like he may be playing up from the juniors, which is good news.
And back to throw, going to Humphreys, catch and run, down the middle. Can he get past Phillips? He gets down to the 50. Another big catch and run. Jake Humphreys, Matty C, is making his presence known.
He is, and this is exactly what you're hoping for, right? Again, we talked about this towards the end of the first half. You don't want to throw the ball 30 yards to make a 30-yard play. You want to throw the ball 7 yards to make a 30-yard play. Exemplified right there. Jake Humphreys on a bit of a tear today too. That is his 8th catch, and he now goes over 100 yards on the day and has that touchdown grab.
Probably the best receiving performance we've seen from him in our time commentating him as well, Matty C.
Yeah, I'd say so. And a good thing too is it takes McManus, who was on 78 yards passing in the first half, over 100 yards as well.
So 1st and 10 coming up from midfield. Here's McManus. Handoff goes to Murphy. The big running back just gets over for a good gain of about 3. Great tackle by Cheeto.
Yeah, and again, Murphy, each time he gets it is 3 yards. And I like that, because 3 yards, you can get 3 yards every play. You win a lot of football games, right? 3 yards is more than enough to get your first down in 4 plays. So he's doing a good job. He's not been called on to do it all the time, because he is playing some defensive line as well. And it is hotter than you might think out there. We've had some early rain today. That sunlight is making it quite humid on the field. So they're picking their spots with him, and each time he's delivered.
Yeah, and a bit of cloud just came over as well when you just said that. See,
the welcome that you can hear in the background is for Jamal Batchelor, the star defensive end for the Centurions, turning up. Not everyone gets their own intro music. He does.
And Norris in the backfield. McManus fakes it to him. Oh, he pitches it to him in the end. Oh, what a play from McManus. That was a heads-up play, but was it a forward pass? There was a flag down around where the pass was thrown. Was it forward, Matty C?
No, it isn't. But the flag was down before the pass. So well, I've got a problem with something else that happened, and it may be against the defense as well.
It's on the snap, Matty C.
Like, that flag came in early, and I think they'll take the benefit of the penalty instead of the yardage.
Offsides against the defense. You're on the money there, Matty C. Be second and about 3. 2nd and 3. So probably around the same. You probably lose about a yard, I would say.
Yeah, but you keep the down, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, Matty C. I think this is very smart for them just to take the penalty rather than the extra yard or 2 that Norris got. But very heads-up play there from McManus.
It is.
Even if it didn't count, that was an amazing play.
So it's a little terrifying as a coach to see that as well. You see this ball come spewing out, and you go, "What? He's up!" And then it's intentional, and you're like, "Geez, careful, I'm not on." I don't know if my cholesterol's good enough to be seeing plays like that terribly often if I'm a coach.
Back to throw. McManus under pressure. Gets it to Casey. And Phillips breaks up the pass.
Yeah, and Phillips hitting with all the intent of a guy who trains exactly how he plays. You see him hit like that here? He hits like that in the training field, and I've seen it first up. He treats every minute of being on a football field like it's for keeps, and it's a nice hit. Casey does a great job getting down, but actually the contact just hits his arm and jars the ball free. Nothing wrong with the way Casey received that ball. It was just good contact.
Yeah, do you think maybe he slowed down a little bit at the end of that route, Matty C? That might have given Phillips a little bit of a chance?
No, absolutely, and I think it's difficult in those short areas because that ball's coming to you so quick that sometimes you have to adjust your pace to give yourself time to react to it. It's those short areas, there is so little room for any sort of adjustment.
And McManus is going to take it himself, and I think he's going to be a yard short. Be 4th. And Matty C, you know what I love to say, 4th and 1 or 2. It's where the game is won and lost.
Yeah, and I mean, I like this as the opportunity to get your big guy back out there. Get Rowan Murphy out there to run downhill now, or even send him out there as the threat to do it. That's the play I'd like to see here.
See, they haven't brought him out. See where he is at the moment.
Yeah, he's down here on the sideline, so it's what I would do, because I mean, you've just shown them. Every time we run with this guy, we pick up enough yardage. That's all you need here is enough yardage. You're not trying to hit a home run.
Well, Norris,
so I'd put the threat on. I would.
See if Norris's speed or McManus's power can get them over. McManus back to throw. He's got to do it with his arm. Going over the middle. Oh! Stacey had it and Casey had it. It was there for them, Matty C. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Wow.
It is, and that was an unfortunate end to that because the pass came out nicely, and what he just didn't see was Noble floating underneath. He got a bit of a touch on it, and it meant that it was then out of Casey's range to react to it. And it's a disappointing way to finish that drive because a lot of that drive was looking so good. They got themselves a nice first down on it, and they get it right up to the 41, almost the 41 yard line. They get up to the 42-yard line, and it's disappointing to see that drive finish there after it started on their own 20.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball well, Matty C, but it's really just about converting in that end of the field as Dorje gets a good carry. Flags were down, so it was where the back judges were as well. I think
we got too many men.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yep.
12 on the field. And yep, everyone's signaling it, so it's be 1st and 5. So 1st and 5 coming on. That 6-yard gain gets erased. Just get the extra down again, Matty.
I just take the penalty too.
Yeah, very smart coaching from both sides, just getting the yards where they are.
It's been a really clean game in terms of we've only had 4 penalties one way, 3 the other. And look at this intent from the Wolves, just getting up to the line quickly, forcing Gladiators to react.
So 1st and 5 coming up. And they're going to hand it off, going through the middle, and a false start. Yeah, they've got to. I think that was a false start because they're whistling that early.
And you could sort of see too, because the Gladiators didn't really have any drive on that at all. It was almost like the play, they were waiting for that whistle to come in before the play even went. There was sort of no intent, almost as if they knew the play shouldn't be live. So they'll just get them the 5 yards back.
Yeah, basically offsetting penalty, right, Matty C?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just on different plays, so yeah.
But the effect is the same, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So 1st and 10 coming up. Back here, back where the drive starts.
It's 35 penalty yards on the Wolves today, though, too, and I think I know a guy who'll be.
There's no foul on the play, Matty.
Inverted whistle.
They've talked about it. There's an inverted whistle that stopped it, so they'll just replay it from 1st and 5. So
waving it off.
Interesting one there.
So back to 1st and 5.
It'll be 1st.
Here we go. Let's pick it up.
Phillips waits the snap. They got another one. What's going on?
Yeah, so the sideline's getting flagged for unsportsmanlike.
Wow, that is really unnecessary. Yeah, someone said something.
It's an unsportsmanlike, and it's just something that's been said on the sideline, and you don't like seeing that. Because it's not necessary, and it's going to hurt them. Like they were in this arm wrestle, and now you've got 1st and 10. You're way down in your own end now, inside your 40.
Yeah, our cameras didn't quite pick it up, so couldn't see who would have been around it. But yeah, someone on the sideline heard that, probably to the back judge, Mitch Taylor. He was the one that called it, so he heard that. It's going to be 1st down and 10. Yeah, so here it is, 15 yards just freely given. And that penalty. That's Phillips. Handoff. Dorje breaks through. He's got the heart of a lion. And there is a good tackle by Pinocchio. But man, that's why they call him the Lion, Matty C.
Well, I think you'll find that's Jason Aramawana in the picture hands. And we knew coming in, we were going to see some snaps from him. He's been a great running back over time and has more often been on the defensive side playing in a linebacker role. But here he is, pink gloves out there because they're missing Jake Christie today. And of course, this season they haven't had the services of Ryan McFerrin all year after he did a pretty significant knee injury back in about April or March. So Aramawana, nice run, picks up about 7, 8, 9. We're just going to count up with 7, 8, 9, 10.
And there's a deep ball, Smith. It's about 5 steps ahead of him.
Yeah, and that wind plays to that corner. So like if it's so easy to overthrow that way on a long run because that ball just is continuing to drift away from you as a receiver. So you feel like you've got it covered, and then you find actually I've still got to continue to speed up because the ball's running away from me.
Does the wind always go that way, Matty C?
Almost always, yeah. And it fluctuates as to whether it's sort of more laterally across the screen as we're playing in here or more vertically, but it's always towards that back left corner as you're sort of facing that end zone.
So 3rd and 1 coming up. Aramawana in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. Hand off here again.
Let him have it.
And here's Aramawana breaking through. hard guy to stop. Norris is going to get him down. And no, he's not. He's going to get pushed to the 15.
What a great run. It just absolutely he turned inside and just beat Luke Hall, all ends up, who then ended up having to crush into his own guy, and Kane Mills ends up falling over from that contact and a little bit of friendly fire. But that is just what Aaron Weiner can do to you, and he goes and picks up in the range of 11 yards on that run. Just a lovely run.
Yeah, a couple runs there, 20 yards, Matty C, on this drive already. Aaron Weiner, he's been doing a great job. Let's see what they do here. So you got Phillips.
Yeah, it's a 7th first down on the day.
Thompson in the backfield this time.
8th, sorry, and second on this drive because the 7th was from penalty.
2 receivers either side. Thompson in the backfield. Phillips going back to throw, looking for the deep one. Dugdale, and again that wind, Matty C.
Yeah.
As you talked about, it loves to drift those balls a little deep.
It does, and a few things went a little wrong there for Dugdale too. You saw him sort of slow up a bit as he was trying to judge where that ball is, and then by the time he recognised it, looking back into the sun, he lost all the momentum with slowing down a little bit to locate it, and the sun also played its role. So you can see a few things not quite right on that one.
Yeah.
But Dugdale, with his 2-touchdown game last week, he had 5 for 64 and 2 touchdowns in that loss last week. Jason Ray couldn't say enough nice things about him when we talked pre-game.
Ooh.
Just a great young receiver.
Almost got Luke Hall jumping. He's showing blitz, and he goes through. And Thompson, left side. Thompson through the middle. One man to beat. He's in.
He's
in. 1 yard short, Matty C, as you said.
Yeah, but he's Mark Shaw. We got that one pretty quick. One of those ones when I can't see behind the pack, I just look for those line judges.
Yes.
But he'll go and pick up a 14-yard gain there, and that's the best run we've seen from him today. He had 14 yards coming into the half, and now he just doubles that.
First and goal, ball at the 1 yard line.
But the way Les Moore came through there, 66, big bloke, he got through there, and I think part of the design of that play is to allow that, and you've just got to make sure your back's quick enough. He was just quick enough, because if Moore got him there, that was the end of that play for about a 3-4 yard loss. Instead, it turns into a 14-yard gain, and that's the game you play with when you pull somebody from that offensive line out to block downfield.
And they're going to go back to throw. Dugdale's tipped. I think that's Pinocchio and Hall. One of them got their hands to it, Matty C. Great play by one of the veterans.
Yeah, and that was tough to tell whether there was a tip or whether it was just because it was behind Dugdale, whether also potentially just his hands hitting it to try and get the bobble up was part of that as well. So these are the things about those short areas, right? That pass isn't bang on. Your receiver is at an absolute deficit trying to catch that up because slowing down is difficult, speeding up is difficult, and you've only got so much reach.
It's a 2nd and goal here from the 1. Hand off for Thompson. He gets stopped. Is he in? Yes, touchdown, Wolves. And there's Thompson just falling over Matty C. Initial contact for Pinocchio wasn't enough to stop him.
That is the 4th rushing touchdown of the day for this Wolves team too. They've had the long mattress catch and the long mattress punt return, but everything else has been on the ground with rushing touchdowns to Dorje and 2 to Phillips. This is the 4th now as Thompson crashes in from a yard out, and there was a sense of inevitability about it to me too. Once you got down to being a yard out, like, well, they've got too many plays to not be successful if they get it on the second try.
All right, let's see. Tokley, this is his 6th attempt, Matty C. Well, extra points. And let's see what he can do here. Gladiators bring that rush, and Tokley coolly gets it. Oh boy, there was some pushing.
Something after here.
Yeah, wow. Was there a hit there at the end?
Yeah, we saw Frank Bayamonte on the ground at the end of the play. I think it'll be after the play.
Oh, yeah, so... Yeah, it looks like... I think Ray Nang and...
No, they're going to assess it on the play. They're going to bring this kick back.
Yeah, it was... Someone was blocking but just tackled them, Matty C. That's what I see here.
Yeah, holding on the offense.
Can't tell, but it was on the right side.
It's our first holding penalty either way today. Don't you think that's amazing?
That's a good start there, Matty C. And it's going to bring that back to, again, a 25-yard attempt. So they've really made his job harder, Matty C, with a couple penalties back-to-back. So it's a 40-yarder, actually, yes, 40 yards.
30.
Oh, 30, yes, thank you, Matty C. As that one, wow, very high.
And left.
Good.
So there you go. We don't see totally miss many, and it's a situation like that now. They push him so much further back, and he gets good contact, but still, it's just that it's left. It's not even that he doesn't get the drive on it.
Wind again, Matty C.
I mean, that's the direction it's pushing it. And I think if you don't make good contact, or if the ball's a little too upright, as we learned from Johnny Zadrunka a couple of weeks ago too, the hold is so important to good contact on the kick. It's just a little difficult to tell with the speed all happens, and with the back of the holder facing us, we don't always get to see about the tilt on the ball and the quality of the place. But I mean, all these things lead. It's amazing how difficult it is to make a successful field goal when you see Tokley just walk out there and pop them through with such regularity. It's like a cow making milk generally. Like, you just don't think too much about the process. You just expect it to be there. That when something doesn't go right, it makes you realise how difficult it is that they get such high success rate on it.
They're going to kick this one deep. And
Norris wants it.
Date will take it though. The veteran takes it instead of the young guy, and he gets a good return again, Matty C, out to the 40. Great play.
Well, he's cracked the 27. I reckon he's gone on about a 31-yarder on that one. And Norris wanted it, didn't he? He came charging across and almost got in front of Tate to take it from him. And then did a great job blocking, and they get this ball out past the 40. And this is going to be a really important drive in the context of the game for the season. This Gladiators team now need to see, like, they're in a 41-12 hole. Is the game recoverable? It might not be. But what you do here is you still want to use this as the opportunity to do exactly what Jesse Date told us before the game. You want to be out here for the fun and for the self-improvement.
Yes.
You've learnt plenty from last week in losing a tough game. You've also learned a lot in the first half about what you've got in you. They had 3 excellent drives that didn't even score on points. So, you're showing you can do a lot of things well without finishing, and this is a great opportunity to just go down there and do the same thing again. 59-yard drive, I recommend you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely up for the Cards if McManus can just hold on to the football here. Back to throw. He's going to run it now, and he is breaking for a tackle. Oh,
nice contact.
Hit over the top. That's a good one. Flag at the end. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's Caldwell came in with a good hit, Matty C.
That's Nang. Nang was the last man in. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just keeping my eye on him because I want to get his number plate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the number plates as well, Matty C. Of course, it had to be him. Of course.
So just seeing what the
rushing in off the edge as well.
Just seeing what the penalty is. They're looking back at the offense.
No, not sure about this one. Yeah,
don't know yet. So we're still just standing over the ball
up as if there's no flag. But did they see the flag there, Matty C?
I don't know. I mean,
there's no flag.
No flag. Yeah. Fair enough. We're going to take the results of the play. It was a nice 4-yard gain by McManus, and off we go. 2nd and 6. This is a good position to be in. Yeah, last drive they copped a penalty on their first play, a loss of yardage, and it just made the whole drive very difficult to recover.
So 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Gladiators. 2 receivers either side. McManus, good snap, going back to throw, looking under some pressure, gets a good dump off. But Murphy is going to lose some yards.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3rd down and 9. So basically, Matty C, do you want him to throw it away a little bit more in that situation? Or do you not mind him giving his player a chance?
I mean, it's a tough one because you don't expect the pocket to have to hold up that long.
Yes.
You want the play to develop sooner than that. Ideally, if you haven't got the ball out within sort of 3 or 4 seconds, then you're asking your line to do too much. They really did a great job holding that. And I don't mind the completion to Rowan Murphy. He's not intended to be a receiver out there, but he has the heads up to turn around and give his quarterback an option. It's one of these things where it just shows that the timing of the play wasn't there the way it should have been. With that pocket holding up as long as it did, you definitely don't want McManus running it from there.
Oh,
that's McManus, a low snap. No. He had his knee on the ground when he touched it.
Yep, and that's going to be 4th down and long. So it's a tough one there, Matty C.
And here we go. We're going to see Jesse Date come on, so you'd expect here punting this one away. McManus is going to come off, but the rest of the offense will stay in place. Just a tough end to that because the drive was doing okay. You're in a situation where you still had 9 to get on 3rd down. That's not a death sentence. There's plenty you can do there. And then to eat a 5-6 yard loss immediately and bring out 4th down, that kind of ends that.
Yeah, and that's not the end of the drive. The Gladiators would have wanted down 41-12 and kicking to a dangerous Nick Mattress, who returned his last punt for a touchdown of 65 yards. They're going to kick this one to him. He's going to get the ball round about the same area.
Nice kick.
Let it
out at the 28.
That's a good kick, as you said, Matty. And got good bounce as well.
Yep. And I think you can't ask for a better situation than getting the ball to hit the ground and for Mattress to not touch it. I think that is the best case scenario.
So I'm just watching for the other game as well. The stars are all out here today, Matty C. Good to see some good returning faces as well as they getting quite a few people out there today, out there early, ready for the warm-ups. You can see Reece Neves there as well. He had a great return game last time as well.
He did. You got George Dutton with the green hair. I'm going to have to ask him about that.
Yeah, well, definitely, Matty C. First and 10 coming up.
Can't wait to talk about that with him.
Yes, first and 10. Here's Phillips. Phillips looking all day to throw. Oh, Mattress! Oh, what a grab! What a grab from Mattress, and he gets 12 yards as well. He had to do a lot of work to get that, Matty C.
Oh my gosh, he gets him over 100 yards on the day, and could you do it in more emphatic style than that, please? I mean, gosh. 2 juggles and then catching it with his hand up against his shoulder pad. You can't ask for much more than that.
I love it when you just you sort of bicep curl it. That's a great feeling as a receiver, Matty C, right?
I wouldn't know. I was tragically born without biceps, mate.
First and 10 coming up.
Arm day wasn't a thing in my house, mate. Still isn't.
From the 40-yard line. Fake. Looking deep.
Got him. He's got him.
All alone! Oh, it was just a little in front, but he had the chance.
He had time. I think that's on Damon Smith. I don't think you can ask.
Down, did he?
I don't think you can ask Phillips to do anything different. He had all day watching it, and he just misjudged when he needed to come in field.
Wow.
And you know that as a receiver too. You want to look back at the quarterback and go, "God, you sold me too many yards out in front." But I think that one's going to be on Damo. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, those are the ones, Matty C, where we always ask your expertise. Was it the receiver's fault or quarterback's fault?
Well, I'm going to get up and look dirty at the quarterback, but I know it's on me. I'll look back at Pete Ryan and be like, "Man, a cheater couldn't have caught that."
See if they dial something up again. Second and 10. Back to throw. Looking again for Mattress. Oh my goodness, he makes these catches harder than they should be, and he doesn't get it this time.
That one definitely bounced. Yeah, I mean, he just did a great job of losing Kane Mills and all of that. And they ended up having to pick him up and go chase him. But thank goodness that thing was a real dolly up because it just gave time for defense to sort of put a bit of pressure on Mattress, and he was turning his head around all over the place. He had no idea what to do.
Yeah, I know. I've had nightmares covering Nick Mattress in flag football. I know that, Matty. See, I can't do it.
God. I can't imagine how anyone does it.
Yeah, it's just hard. So I feel for anyone that has to cover him right now. They're going to put Humphreys on to that job at the moment. It's 3rd down and 10.
I'm going to bring flag football back up in a second.
Here, back to throw. Looking.
Dugdale.
Deep ball for Dugdale. He catches it this time. Down the right sideline. Gets past Pinacho, but steps out of bounds. Norris with the hit as well, just to make sure nothing late in that. It's 1st down and 10 from the 22.
Yeah, a really lovely play there. That's a 38-yard catch, which is fantastic. It really flips that field, so they get themselves down inside the 30. I was going to bring up the flag football because I've just spotted one of the folks who was on our Australian Championship team over at the flag tournament that was just played in China, James McAuliffe, back to play here in the league today. Whether he plays or not sure, but I've spotted him and he's in a tank top, so it looks like he might be about to throw some pads on.
See, 1st and 10 coming up from the 23. Quick one to Dugdale again, getting him back in motion as he gets pushed out by Morgan. Yeah, Matty says, we're talking about flag. Well done to James McAuliffe and Cody Donlan as well, who's from the ACT. Both of them on that championship winning team as well. They won the Oceania Championship Continental. So very good result for Australia as well. 2nd down and 1 coming up.
Incredibly good result. Australia has always been competitive. So to go through and win that tournament is that's a big news for Australia, especially with flag being an Olympic sport, and it's a tough road to make it to the Olympic qualifying to actually get to the Olympic Games.
As Phillips, he rolls out, he's going to go for the goal line, and he's going to be a yard short. Let's bring up 1st down and goal to go again from the 1, Matty.
The 1, a 14-yard rush from Matty Phillips. It's only his third rush today. His other two have been for touchdowns, an 8-yard touchdown and a 5-yard touchdown. Here he is with a 14-yard run that almost could have been a third touchdown on as many rushes. So just going to say, Isaac Tiapia, we've seen him up and moving around. He's not on the bench anymore. He hasn't come back into the game, but he is up and moving about.
That's good.
Hadn't got an update from him at the halftime, but we will learn a little bit about how he's doing after the game, and we can bring an update for those who are hanging around for this later game between the Stars and the Centurions. And here we are. First down on the one.
Phillips, handoff. Aramoana is in. Touchdown, Wolves. And there's the big linebacker, turn running back, Matty C. Jason Aramoana.
Wow, for the second 1-yard rushing touchdown of the quarter. And that jumps the score out to 47-12 now. And that's the fifth rushing touchdown of the day for a team that we know scores a lot of points. We just don't expect them to throw it up in rushing touchdowns, Manjo. That's generally not who they've been in the past.
So here it is, that extra point attempt from about 20 yards away. As Tokley gets set for it. Noble's gonna throw it! And it's caught! A great one there. I think that's Marshall, Matty C. Can't see if it's Marshall Smith, but they got that one for two.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Marshall, which is really, really nice. Just a smart little play. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Damon Smith on the sideline for that play.
Yeah, it's Marshall there, Matty C. Good to see the young guy getting another catch and another score as well. He had one down on the right side of the end zone on the other end of the field in week 2 or week 3 in one of those first matchups they had against Gladiators. So yeah, he's been good, Matty C.
Yeah.
This season.
What we find now is we're in a rolling clock situation too, man. We've got a lead of 36 points. Once it gets to 35 and up, the clock won't stop for stoppages in play. The only thing it will stop for is timeouts and injuries. That will stay in play unless the margin dives to 34 or under. So just for those at home, knowing now that they're not even going to kick off now for the quarter because the clock is running. Quarter is over. It will restart once the kickoff for this fourth quarter gets underway.
Yeah, and that running clock, it did get it down to the 0. So we're getting to the start of the fourth quarter, as you said, Matty C. And just one more note on James Micallef as well. It'll be interesting if he does play today, which we're not sure about.
Oh, we don't know
if he is or not. But if he does, which side of the football he's going to play on? Of course, he's an offensive guy. He won MVP last season. He was the MVP of this league. At quarterback, especially, we know him as a receiver. Of course, he is an Australian national team receiver when he was in the under-20s. That's why he wears the Outback helmet. But in that flag football tournament, he's playing a lot of defense, Matty C. He's getting some picks as well. That's how you know he's a receiver. He got those receiver hands.
Yeah, right.
Picks off those other teams. So really, I think it'll be interesting to see how the Centurions go about using him. I'd probably go offense, honestly. Get him and Henneke, Bo Kennett throwing the football. That's hard to stop any day.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see the shot
they're
kickoff
going
here.
onside, and that's well fielded there by Bangara.
Yeah, a really nice piece of work by Bangara getting down onto that one and just diffusing that one, making sure they secure possession, and they're on the right side of halfway here, starting with the ball on the 48-yard line going in. It's the first time they've had possession to start a drive on the correct side of halfway, on the positive side of halfway. They're going to spot him for the 49.
Yep. And I mean, they did have a kick return touchdown as well, so that's a positive one, right, Matty?
Yeah, that was in the first half, man, Joe.
It was.
I gave myself just enough caveats to make sure I was correct.
I had to be listening a bit closer.
Yeah. No, I'm also just making your life hard by saying things that have qualifiers. So you know.
ESPN stat.
100%. Yeah, he's the first receiver under 23 years old on a Saturday in November to fall on a ball on the 49-yard line in a Gladiators jersey under.
Okay, stop, Matty C. You're
with the number under 20. What do you reckon? That's probably right. That's probably right.
That is probably right. I think my head's just hurting.
Well,
now.
first one since 1933, anyway.
Here's McManus and here's Murphy. Boy, oh boy, he's running headfirst himself.
How many yards do you reckon?
Gain of about 3.
About 3. He is 3 yards and a cloud of dust, and I love that. It's beautiful to watch the big running back just go straight through the middle, and he gets you the 3 yards. And when they drive stalled at the end of last drive, when they needed just a few yards to kick it over, and then there was a penalty, and then they found themselves going backwards. That's a 3-yard gain. It's all you need, and if you're not going to get the 3 yards, you might as well show them that you want to keep them honest by putting a guy out there like that who has just been 3 yards every time he's touched the ball.
So 2nd and 7 coming up. Murphy is in the backfield again. He'll get the carry, and here he is again, Matty C. 3 yards and a little more.
Maybe we might have got 4. Let's just see what they spot him. Might be a career long. What do you reckon? I reckon it's 3.
It's 3 again. I was about to give him an extra yard.
Yeah? I mean, he lunged forward. It was about whether it was knee or elbow, man. That was it.
3.5, I think.
Yeah.
He got 3.5, so he's good enough for 3.5, Matty C. That's good enough for first down everybody if you're doing that.
Yeah. I mean, just give it to him again. He's probably feeling a bit tired after those. It's pretty hot.
Well, we know McManus likes to get 3 yards as well on his runs. See what they go with here. Back to throw, looking, and here is Humphrey, just a little behind him.
Always behind. And those ones are not much fun. Like, he is running directly at Reece Cheetah, who's running directly at him, and you've got to concentrate on catching that ball, and you've got to hold it when you get the contact. So, sometimes you see one fall behind you like that, and as a receiver, you're a little thankful. I mean, you'd really prefer to be catching ball, but sometimes you think, gee, that could have put me in hospital.
They're gonna take McManus out, and they're gonna bring in Date. So Date, now you see, they were saying
it's gonna punt it.
If something goes really wrong, he'll be out there on offense. Well, he's there to punt. And who's gonna return this one? Let's see if they even need to return it. He's probably gonna kick this. Does a good job. Boy, that's getting close to the goal line. How close? How close? Oh!
We're going to say it's in the field at the half. No, they're giving you the touchback, are they? A half yard.
No,
a half yard.
It's a first down sign from the half-yard line, Matty C. That got us there. Got us double thinking.
Ooh, what a punt.
That is as good as it gets for a punter.
Now, I think that is one of the great highlights of today is that punt, actually. It's I know that doesn't sound like the sexiest thing, but I mean, how hot do you want a punt to be? I mean, it doesn't.
It's a 9-10 game, and you're just saying a punt is a highlight. That's
a certified 10. That punt.
Yeah. Wow. I cannot believe that. I mean, we saw the Raiders do that yesterday, and I was like, I just gotta hold back on saying the touchback because Al Michaels said that yesterday, and
it was hot. That was. Whoa.
Yeah, he got memed for that, so I needed to be a little careful there on that punt, Matty C. That's a quick throw. Damon Smith's going to get them in safety, and even more. He's got a good gain there. That one's going to be about a gain of 6.
Smith's had a nice day. That's his 4th grab, 56 yards. You know, he's just been in as much as you would like. He's turned up and made a couple of nice plays. He had first 3 were all 10 yards and more, and this one's just get him out of a little danger, gets him half the first down. Like, he's just kind of been a real necessary player today.
2nd and 5. Mattress goes in motion. Phillips follows him, gets it to him, and he had to reach out, get past Bonacci, but he gets the first down, and even more. He gets out to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, there you go. So an 8-yard grab will just give him enough safety. Mattress now looking real sharp out there. He's got 115 yards on the day from his 5 grabs. It's, Matty Phillips has been passing really nicely. He goes over 200 yards.
And good to see Mattress and Pinocchio just exchange a bit of banter at the end of that one as well. Just friendly handshakes there. Love to see it. 1st and 10 coming up. Here for the Wolves. Got 49 on the board. It's been a good day for them offensively. Only had to punt the ball away 2 times. Quick one to Mattress. Mattress goes through McManus with good tackle, but Mattress, Matty C, another 20-yard catch.
Yeah, really nice catch that one. They're getting him 21, in fact, and this is going to start pushing Matty Phillips closer to the 250, but just a lovely pass over the middle, a nice space underneath that ball to get in. He didn't put in any danger. He turns upfield, immediately brought down by McManus, but damage is done and they're moving that ball. It's the second first down of this drive, the 10th today.
Incredible. 1st and 10 coming up, Matty C. Ball at the 36. 3 receivers at the top. Smith one-on-one at the bottom of the screen. Gonna go quick to him. Here he is. Gets past Humphreys and he's gone. No one's catching Damon Smith except for Bailey McManus. And he's still dancing. He's still going. McManus gets him. Great job, Matty C. I think I underestimated McManus' speed because Damon Smith went crazy fast. But McManus, that was a great cover tackle. Wow.
He just didn't back himself, did he? I mean, he had all that. I was starting to look back at, okay, where did this play start? Because I'm going to need to record how far the touchdown was. And then I look up and he's done a little jink move and he's working his way forwards and backwards. He gets pulled down at the 15. I reckon he just needed to pin his ears back. If he shoves you over the sideline, he shoves you over the sideline. But you just got to go for it, don't you?
Yeah, he had a few yards. When he stopped, he was about level though, Matty C, to be fair. So I think McManus had the angle. He's trying to cut inside. Timeout, Gladiators. I'll be the first of the half.
44-yard catch for Damon Smith, and I think that's really fair for him. He goes to 100 yards today. Bang on, right?
Yeah, as you see, I'm showing you the replay here, Matty C. Damon Smith, he's about level, but you see where they were going. I think he was going to get him in the end. McManus with a great chase. I mean, if I just pause it maybe a couple yards, you think about here, if he's even there at around, that's a 35-yard line, Matty C.
So he gets him in the next 20.
That's a really good chase.
As the wide receiver, I feel like you've got that corner, and he had plenty of yards of width left in the field too, and he just kind of gave himself up, and then didn't gain any yards from the moment he put his left foot in the dirt to cut back. He actually gained 0 after that.
Yeah.
Whereas you dip in your ears back, you're getting all of it. So I realise in the moment things are happening fast down there, and the decision making is tough to always justify because you're just reacting to what you see as the receiver in that open space. But with the benefit of vision from up here and a little bit of hindsight as well,
I think McManus had him at the end. It was just a great chase, and I just underestimated his speed, honestly, as a commentator just watching him. I think now you know he's a very fast guy. He's not just a powerful runner as well. Here it is. Quick one, and Mattress all alone, touchdown Wolves, and he's got the hat-trick. We were used to this last year, Matty C, and for the first time this year, he pulls out the celly as well with Damon Smith.
Love that, a 15-yard drop back and pass, and it just kind of pops up through the line and then cuts to the corner to all that space, and there's just no one there covering because the route on the other route on that right side is just short. It's just short, so the cornerback's always got his eyes looking back forwards, and Mattress just pops in behind him. Just a beautiful play design and well executed. All day to watch that one come in, and a player with that experience, you expect him to grab it.
Yeah, and just some bit of miscommunication as well in the defense. Lost track of him. Good route though. Here's Tokley. Extra point is up, and it is good. He is 6 from 7 today, Matty C.
And even with the low snap there, Noble does such a nice job keeping himself concentrated and puts the ball on the ground. They're going to assess the penalty after the play and assess it on the kickoff. But yeah, just a really experienced hold from Andrew Noble as well, as we see the score jump to 56-12.
Done a really good job, Matty C, today.
They really have, and I think the difficult thing, right, for this Gladiators team is they were doing so many good things in the first half, and they've done a couple of good things in the second half, but they really did get away from a lot of things that were being successful for them. And we can see that a lot of things that were successful for them are still there if they want to take them. But you're in a big hole now in terms of scoring, right? It's a 40-point game, so just taking the 6-yard pass or whatever doesn't sound very attractive, and you might feel the pressure to try and be a bit more explosive. But in terms of just putting your best foot forward and making a play that's going to benefit you in the now and be good practice for next week, we see them take on the Stars in a completely winnable game, I'd be doing that. Yeah, so an unsportsmanlike conduct against the defence after the play. So that's why the field goal stays, and they're going to bring this kick forward to the halfway.
That was against number 97 there, Macy.
And that's the second unsportsmanlike penalty. The last one came from the sideline for this Gladiators team, and it cost them. It cost them on a drive that ended up going for a touchdown when they had them middle of the field. It just invited them right in. So this one now, you're getting them from halfway, and it's just they've sort of hurt themselves a couple of times.
Here is Toku with the kickoff. Gonna roll it. That's out of bounds at the 5. They'll take it from the 35, would you say, Matty T?
Yeah, I think I'd just take the ball. I don't want him to re-kick it.
Yeah, I'd take the ball from, if they do allow them to march up, that is.
Yeah.
I think that's a...
Yeah, I'm just watching the near line.
Perfect, yeah, from the
Line
35.
judge here.
And that's probably a better result than you would have gotten touchback as well. It was pretty easy, to be fair. It's easier from the 50 than from the 35 to kick a touchback for the kicking team. So
this one's called an illegal procedure too. It's funny how they do that, but
yep.
There you go. They're going to re-kick it. Okay. Oh, it's taking 31 free yards, but there you go. They clearly feel like they can do something with this return, Manjot.
We'll see what they can do here. Yeah, I think they really want the ball in Norris's hands again. I mean, Brody Norris, Matty C, he's been having an absolute day out there. Got that big kick return touchdown. Let's see. Jesse Date will get it again. They're kicking it away from
the 3.
The threat of Norris. But Date, he himself has been a threat today. He's going to take it down. Good one there. Panaccio and Reed just blocking each other there. Just a little bit of talk afterwards. Oh, no.
There's not much to say though. It's 56-12. There's not a lot to say. So let's get off the field, just shut up, and they're going to get the ball from around the 20.
That's probably the right way to put it.
Yeah. Just if in doubt, look at the scoreboard and just go, do I have anything intelligent to say? No, I don't. I found myself on teams which were on the end of scoreboards that weren't terribly attractive too, and like during the game, you don't mind having a little talk to your cornerback who's defending you as a wide receiver in a one-on-one a lot of the day with the same person, so you don't mind playing a little game or two with them, but you also got to be realistic about, my team was not winning a lot of games, so just how you use your tongue in that instance.
1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff again. Here's Murphy again. Oh, good run. I think 3 yards again, Matty C, is safe to
here we go. Is he? Yeah, I'm just watching Renee on the far side. He gave him the 3rd yard. I'm pleased because I was there for a seckie. He started fishing around that too. And I'm like, no, come on, give him the 3rd.
We got over under 3 yards a carry here for Murphy.
He's given us no reason to think it's ever going to be over or under. That is his 6th carry for 18 yards. 6 3-yard rushes.
I think that was 2 yards, Matty. See, I'm sorry.
They rushed him back.
I have to.
It's 2 yards. 17 yards. There you go.
On how many carries, Matty, again?
6.
That's perfect. Yes. There's Murphy again. This time, nothing there, Matty. He gets a yard. He gets that 3rd yard.
He gets that 3rd yard, but took him an extra attempt. Yeah.
Yeah. So reduces the average there.
It does, and so they bring him out and they bring Norris on, and I think he clearly does different things to what Ryan Murphy's going to do. And Ryan Murphy, not your typical running back. It's his first time we've seen him running the ball at all this year. He's done a really admirable job. It's not every day that you, as a defensive lineman, are getting asked to tote the ball 7 times. So, and such a hot day as well when you've been playing defense. So it's good to see him come out with a slightly more dynamic package here at 3rd and 7.
See what McManus can do. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. And they're going to go. That's the play I wanted, the speed option there. And that's going to be a 1st down. I was about to say it before snap, Matty. So I was thinking why they haven't used the speed option with McManus and Norris as much today. I think that's a play they should have used a lot more today.
Well, and it's Norris's 3rd rush, and he gets 8 yards on that one. He's got 48 yards rushing today.
Yeah.
And really they were doing very well early is that you had guys like Reece Cheater and Dave O'Brien just getting up and disrupting that play. Just getting up and saying, we're going to take away the pitch. Now you have to run it. And this was really the first time we've seen them be able to execute what they'd drawn up on that play.
Yeah. It's going to be 1st and 10 See if they go back to the well with Norris there as well. 2 receivers either side. And they pitch it to him. Oh, it was a low one, but he got it. And there's Norris. Boy, Matty C, if they can get more out of him, it'd be great. That's going to be the game. And that is final score, 56 to the Wolves, 12 to the Gladiators. It's probably a lot closer than that, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it just blew away from the Gladiators in that second half of Matty C. The Wolves showing their class once again and showing why they're definitely up there for first place.
Yeah, they're clearing away the gap between sort of the top 2 and the bottom 2 is pretty distinct. What I liked, though, is that you didn't know for most of the first half of this game that was the case. These 2 teams played an extremely entertaining first half where both teams really gave it quite a lot. And the scoreboard, I think, really probably didn't reflect how well Gladiators have played. It really just showed they turned the ball over twice in really tough situations. And then the turnover they generated was pretty much on the last play of the half, which is kind of a pity. They got no chance to make advantage of that. But what we do see here is a really dominant display. The Wolves going into last week with the highest scoring team in the country. And this does a lot to just reassert that even if they had that slow week last week, you combine that with this week, that still averages over 30 points a game for those 2 weeks. So they're right back in the thick of it again.
In the country as well. That's a good stat to pull out there, mate.
Yeah, so you see this Wolves team now go to 5-1 and a draw. And they just continue to score a buttload of points, mate. A buttload.
Good to see that you've been following that touchdown. AU, I believe that's what you were.
Yeah, I talk to them every week. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And the highest scoring team in the country, the Wolves, they put up 56. Was this their highest score of the season, Matty C?
Yeah, they had a 63 earlier in the year against the Stars. Yeah.
That's the one. Yep.
But Matt Phillips, 14 of 17, very efficient, didn't have an incomplete pass in the second half. And he does a great job. He goes and throws up over 200 yards of offense. And then we saw some great running. In the first half, we saw George get himself a touchdown. We also saw Phillips with 2, but in the second half, both Thompson and Moana score touchdowns. Of course, Nick Mattress with 3 touchdowns. Any way you like it, whether it's a 75-yard bomb, whether it's a long punt return for 64 yards, or if it's that nice 15-yard little pattern to the corner, he does it every which way. Totally 6 of 7 from the tee today, and they got that 2-point conversion on the 3-yard pass to Jack Marshall. For the Gladiators, their points came from a 94-yard kick return. Electric start to that game for the Gladiators. They missed a 2-point try, but then later in the first half as well, Jake Humphries gets a 12-yard touchdown catch from McManus. The extra points there also unsuccessful, trying to get Rowan Murphy in the end zone. But an exciting day, mate. We saw a total of 8 touchdowns today. Couldn't ask for more than that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, incredible. Well, 8 touchdowns
for the Wolves,
and then 2 from the Gladiators. So 10.
10 total.
Yeah, we love that, Matty C. I mean, it was a great performance. I think for the Wolves, I will say, like, seeing Mattress come back after such a rough game last week was probably the highlight for me for them. I don't think we've seen this Nick Mattress for the first bit of the season, probably because he plays rugby league as well and other sports, and you know he's probably been recovering from those sort of things. But it's just good to see him in good form after the bye. I think the bye week has done a lot for him, and really I think that's what I like to see from Mattress. That's the Mattress we saw all of last year, Matty C.
Yeah, it really is.
Back to his true form. We haven't seen him score 3 touchdowns in a game this year. Today, he did that in every way you could possibly do it as well. It's just 2 long passes. Well, 1 short pass, 1 long pass, and of course the punt return as well. So he's back to his best. Phillips, of course, efficient, as you said, Matty C. And yeah, for the Gladiators, I thought there was some good signs. I think that's probably Bailey McManus's. I think if it wasn't for that interception he threw, I think this would have been probably his best performance. He had a good game, Matty C. And
he did. That one intercept he threw was really unfortunate. It was a tough way to end a drive where he'd otherwise been looking good, and he just panicked. Other than that, he actually had a nice game out there. He threw sort of 9 of 16, which is similar to what he did last week, but much more control with the ball. Had a touchdown, only that 1 turnover. He goes and throws up 109 yards this week, which just kind of shows when you've got a more experienced receiver out there, you can get more purchase for what you do.
Yeah, he's done a good job there, Matty C. And let's see. Yeah, so the team's just saying their 3 cheers. Yeah, who would you say would be like your player of the game, Matty C? Who would you give it to?
It's difficult because, like you see, just all that dominance on the ground running the ball. You see Matt Phillips passing the ball so well. He also has 2 rushing touchdowns, but Mattress had 3 touchdowns, different ways. The nice short pass, the really long breakaway pass, and that kick return. I'm finding it hard to go past Nick Mattress. I really am.
Him that pastry, man. I mean, we've been a bit inconsistent with the awards, I think, this season. So just bringing that back, Matty C, for the rest of the way, I think, and really just to honour the great performances we've seen out there. That was a great one there from Mattress. We'll see if he's up there for MVP of the week on the league's social media as well. Don't forget to check out the Instagram at American Football ACT, of course, and you'll be able to see who wins the MVP this week, because it should be a good race between a few of the guys. And we'll see next game. We still have a whole nother game as well. Stars, Centurions about to kick off in about 35 minutes, Matty C. So, yeah, anything looking forward to this one as well?
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Stars, who kind of escaped last week by getting a very late touchdown and excellently judged to a 2-point conversion as well to get out of jail after they were down 12-0 going into the fourth quarter. They're going to be up against a very tough team, though. The Centurions team just outground a really tough Wolves side last week to get that 21-12 win. They did a lot of things right. They also probably weren't as clean as they wanted to be either, so they've still got a lot to prove. They are not resting on that they're on the top of the table now. They're coming into the week with 5 wins, 0 losses and a draw, and they won't be looking to take the foot off the accelerator at all, because one misstep, you lose that first position.
Yeah, look, Matty, for the Wolves coming up next, going back to face the Centurions next week, you have the Gladiators facing the Stars. So, look, yeah, for both teams, big games to look forward to next week as well. And yeah, especially Centurions Wolves. The Wolves, they want to bounce back after last week's loss. It'll be a battle for first place. That'll be an interesting one. We see the Wolves take care of business today. Let's see if the Centurions can also get a win, or will the Stars pull off the upset and book their spot in the playoffs? We'll find out in about 30 minutes or so. We'll sign off here from the live stream. Do join us then in about half an hour. Thank you, everyone.
Where's the charging thing?